Well, well, well. So once again, man, the Cowboys have been so boring. It's just not a whole lot to talk about other than, just things that most of us pretty much know about. But every little time something drops, you better believe that, people are going to pick up on it, and I am going to report on it if possible. And so the latest news that we have kind of coming around Dallas, not coming out of Dallas. There is actually nothing pretty much coming out of Dallas, but around Dallas. People have been pretty excited about this, or just talking about the possibility of a Myles Garrett trade, of which I don't think is going to happen. Then we've heard people talking about Josh Sweat. We've heard some other conversations circulating around the Cowboys. We're just going to sum up, sum up all the things that people have been talking about the Dallas Cowboys over the last couple of days. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. What is going on, Cowboys Nation? I have been absent for a couple of days, but I am back like I never left. Let's go. Man, we got a lot of topics to cover about the Dallas Cowboys over the last couple of days and going into this coming month. Man, let's go. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. As you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member, subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Man, we got some segments today. We have some segments today. We are going to talk about Myles Garrett. Man, let me tell you something. They are going crazy about Myles Garrett in Cleveland. They're worried, and I don't blame them. They are worried about Myles Garrett. They are thinking that Myles Garrett may be getting traded out of Cleveland. We're going to talk about it. And a lot of people are saying he's a prime trade target. But I'm going to give you a little bit more to this, and I'm not sure if he's really the trade target that people think. Then we're going to have a couple of quick hits. We're going to be talking about Paris Campbell retiring. That's not really a big deal. In the grand scheme of things, it's not really a big issue. But Paris Campbell retires. Then we're going to talk about Dak Prescott, catch up on Dak Prescott winning the Good Guy Award. I have a lot to say about the Good Guy Award that Dak Prescott won. Then we're going to talk about Michael Irvin being on DLLS. Great job they did over there as it pertains to one Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin talked about George Pickens. I want to talk about that. I told you, you're going to call me a prophet before it's over. Michael Irvin is saying almost verbatim, and I haven't even heard it. But I'm pretty sure he's saying almost verbatim what I said based on what Baz sent me over on X. Then Michael Irvin talking about Troy Aikman. Haven't heard it, but I know what he talked about, and I want to talk about that too. Then I want to talk about the Quinnen Williams extension. It is time for the Dallas Cowboys to give Quinnen Williams an extension. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about who would you rather have, Jordan Brooks or Josh Sweat. Now, I already tell you who I would take, but I'll tell you when we get there. Jordan Brooks or Josh Sweat. Then, I saw an article that I thought was very interesting. Players the Cowboys should be looking at post-June 1st. Right now, there's only 4 players that they listed, but I'm pretty sure there will be more, and there will be more exhaustive list as we get closer to that June 1st. It's going to be exciting. And then finally, man, I got to talk about this thing with Michael Parsons. Man, let me tell you something. The Dallas Cowboys may very well catch a couple of crazy breaks in the first 6 games of the season. I told you, y'all, you need a good to great team. You need health, and you need luck. And I believe the Cowboys may get some luck as it pertains to the first 6 games, and I'm going to tell you what this has to do with Micah Parsons. So, that's the show for today. Myles Garrett, Paris Cameron retires, Good Guy Award, Irvin on Pickens and Troy, Quentin extension, Brooks a Sweat, post June 1st, and then the Micah Parsons thing. That, and I'm pretty sure more on Let's Talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's see who we got here today. My man, Dominique Pittman. What is going on? What is going on, Dominique Pittman? Lynn from the 903. What up, Lynn? Anthony Billings. What's going on? He said, happy Friday. What up, Carl Williams? Good to see you. Says Cowboys gonna have a top 10 defense. Jacob Jackson, what is going on? He said, OG, let's go. What's going on, John Henry? Good to see you. Big Moss Dog, what is going on? Ruffin 8385. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. What is going on? Oh man, I'm gonna come back to this comment you just made about Myles Garrett. Headhunter, what is going on, Headhunter? It is the Queen. What's going on, Queen? Demetrius Noel, what's going on? Everett, R.T. Holman, Christian Legal, what is going on? Hallelujah. Salute. What is going on with you? Yes, bless you too, Dominique. Let's get this thing going. It is The Undertaker X. My man Bass, what up, Bass? Gregory Davis, my brother R.T. Holman, what is going on? Texas boy B. Mackey from the cliff, what is going on? Mo Eddie, what's going on, Mo Eddie? Lonnie Cabal, Gregory Hicks, Dominic, JCT Slice in the building. He said, I'm tired of these Cowboys haters. He said, Jason McIntyre from FS1 literally said he'll bash the Cowboys whenever he feels like it. Hey, man. You might as well, hey, Cowboys so boring, he got to bash them to get some clicks and some likes, man. Cowboys are so boring, and I love it. What is going on? There will be blood. Mr. Get Dirty, Enoch Taylor, what is going on? True Texan, he said facts until Dak makes it to the NFC Championship game. He's a loser and a choker. I'm not sure about that, but he's going to get there. Just give him time. Give him time. Davion Wallace, what is going on? Good to see you. Frank Lawrence, my man, what up? He said no Myles Garrett, no Max Crosby, blockbuster trades unless they're willing to give away 2 first. Oh, you just wait till I get to that point. Man, that's a lot. What's going on, Big Dub? What's going on, Sean Davis? Right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll greet others as they come along. It is a beautiful Friday over here in the Metroplex. Finally again, man, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm living in Seattle right now. All these overcast days, man. I'm like Prince, man. Overcast days never turn me on. I like them clear blue skies, but nevertheless, let God do his business. All right, what is going on, Gary Book Walter? What is going on, John CB? All right. Let's jump right into this Myles Garrett story. Now, I don't know if you saw my latest video talking about Myles Garrett, but I laid out a lot of facts about Myles Garrett. And I'm telling you, the Cleveland media cannot stop talking about Myles Garrett leaving Cleveland. And in some sense, you got to think about this, if you're really being, logical, being reasonable when it comes to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is in a very strange situation. Myles Garrett, there is no argument. Myles Garrett, right now, Myles Garrett, he is the premier defensive end / edge rusher in the game. And it's not even close. Myles Garrett, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, he is the best. He is the most game-wreckingest player in the league right now. He's in a very strange situation, though. He's on a team that I don't see competing for a Super Bowl for at least 3 years. They have Shedeur Sanders over there, and I believe they're going to mess up. They're going to mess up over there in Cleveland. They're a very poorly ran franchise. They're going to mess up, it seems, and they're going to allow Deshaun Watson. There's a possibility that they let Deshaun Watson be a starter over there in Cleveland. They're going to put Shedeur Sanders back 1 extra year. They're going to go on to lose. And then you're going to let Shedeur Sanders do what? Take over midseason? Game 6, Game 7, whatever the case may be. Or let him take over next season. Or, Lord forbid, give Deshaun Watson an extension. I'm sorry. I don't know what people are talking about. Oh, yeah, it's close. It's close between Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. The fact that it's close is the reason why I'm choosing Shedeur Sanders. I'm choosing Shedeur Sanders. The only way that I'm allowing Deshaun Watson to be the starter in Cleveland, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, is that it's got to be so night and day. Shedeur Sanders has got to be terrible for me to even think about letting Deshaun Watson start for me. I keep him all through camp, and I'll cut him at the end of camp. Whatever team want him, y'all can have him. Cut him. But I'm saying all that to say Myles Garrett is in a very strange situation. Myles Garrett is in a situation that where he is at the top of his game. He is the best, one of the best defensive players in the game. Game changer, game wrecker. And he on a terrible team. He on a terrible team. He's highly paid, but money can't buy you love. And so the issue becomes with Myles Garrett. Okay, you got the money. How do you get the title? How do you get the title? The only way Myles Garrett is going to get the title is that there is a miracle in Cleveland. And I'm not talking about a regular miracle. I'm talking about a world-changing miracle. Myles Garrett will not win in Cleveland unless there is a miracle. I don't know what it could even be. But that team is about 3 years out at least. Well, Myles isn't getting any younger. Myles is about, 31? Myles Garrett is, don't get me wrong, man, he's at the peak of his powers. He is at the peak of his powers in his prime. But the problem is, Myles Garrett cannot afford to wait 4 more years to compete for a championship. Myles Garrett needs to be competing for a championship. He's 30 years of age. He needs to be competing for a championship the same way that Dak Prescott does. Yeah. Right now. Myles Garrett needs to be competing for a Super Bowl right now. Right now. And the Dallas Cowboys, it's really the ideal situation for Myles Garrett because he needs to be on a team that can win the Super Bowl right now. Quarterback, offense, defense coming together. You be that finishing piece. There is no other team in this league that fits that. Well, I'll give it another team. Don't let me say the Cowboys, because actually the Chicago Bears fit that too. But not more so than the Dallas Cowboys. Because Caleb Williams, we still got to see what he is. We've seen the flashes. But with Dak Prescott, we know what he is. Dak Prescott, top 3 quarterback, bar none. Dak just needs the team around him now to do what needs to be done. Cowboys are that perfect team. The issue for me, and I even believe the issue for the Cowboys, it's not the money. The Dallas Cowboys wouldn't have a problem. I mean, Myles Garrett's money, the way the Cleveland Browns redid his contract, the money isn't the problem. They put that $29 million bonus all the way to the front part of the season. So if a team was to sign Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns would only have about $41 million in dead money. They could spread that over 2 years. When you look at Myles Garrett money, I'm not sure how the bonuses and all of that stuff plays in. But I can tell you this. Myles Garrett is very tradable. He's very tradable. It's not the contract isn't the problem. He's very tradable. I'm gonna let you hear these guys from Cleveland. This guy from Cleveland, I don't know who this young guy is, but what he's gonna say next, it's really the problem not only for Myles Garrett, it's the problem for Cleveland, it's the problem for the Cowboys, it's the problem for the Bears, it's the problem for anybody who wants Myles Garrett. Anybody who wants Myles Garrett. I want you to listen to what he says about Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns. No one has said this, and this really sums up the problem. It really is the problem. This is the conundrum that Myles Garrett finds himself in. Listen to this.
That is forcing the Browns to have to make a move. And if you don't have to trade a player like Myles Garrett, especially if he can aid your ability to just turn things around magically, you're not going to trade Myles Garrett. And something Mary Kay Cabot said that she said she just doesn't see the team
What's going on, El Chuco?
moving off of him unless they, see an offer that they can't refuse. But that's the thing.
What if that offer comes?
It's not. It's too hard for a player like Myles Garrett. It's too hard to make an offer that the Browns can't refuse.
Wait a minute. Y'all got to just absorb what this guy just said. I've heard no one else make this argument, but it is actually the perfect argument as it applies to Myles Garrett. Listen to it again.
Mary Kay Cabot said that she said she just doesn't see the team moving off of him unless they, see an offer that they can't refuse. But that's the thing.
What if that offer comes?
It's not. It's too hard for a player like Myles Garrett. It's too hard to make an offer that the Browns can't refuse because he's that good.
That right there is facts on top of facts. That's it. Do we not realize how good how good Myles Garrett is? I don't think we're realizing just how good this guy is. So let's think about this. So if they were willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby, 2 first-round picks and a player like Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons, then somebody got to tell me what in the world is Myles Garrett worth? What? Myles Garrett is better than Micah Parsons. Myles Garrett is better than Max Crosby. There is not a defensive end slash edge rusher better in this league right now than one Myles Garrett. If they trade Myles Garrett for only 2 first-round picks, it's a bargain. If they were to tell the Dallas Cowboys, hey, 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett, man, the Cowboys better break their neck getting to that table. 2 first-round picks for this man, it's a bargain. It's a bargain. This guy is saying something. I really want to put it in perspective of what he's saying. It's not even so much that teams couldn't do it, but you got to understand the situation you have to be in to do it. There's a certain situation you have to be in to do it. If you are a team and you are on a rebuild mode, well, what's your point? There's no point in you doing that for a Myles Garrett. You got to be a team that is literally on the cusp of we just need one more player. Cowboys to me are at the top of the list. Bears, I don't think they're quite where the Cowboys are. Maybe you're thinking about a team like the Detroit Lions. You're talking about maybe the Rams. This group of teams that I'm talking about, it's very small. There are not many teams that are one player away. Myles Garrett going to any of these other teams, he might as well stay in Cleveland. Myles needs to go to a team that is literally saying, we just need one more player. This is why Green Bay traded for Michael Parsons. They thought they were one player away. And I would dare say, had the Green Bay Packers not got injured on defense, I think they would have made a strong push. I don't think they would have made it, but I think they would have made a very strong push. And just because I don't think they would have made it don't mean they wouldn't have made it. But you got to be a team. You got to be a team in reality like the Dallas Cowboys. You literally got to be a team where you got a quarterback. I mean, Dak Prescott, come on, man. Top 3, top 2 quarterback. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams. Your offensive line is pretty much ready to go. You got to see what guidance going to be, but your offense is pretty much ready to go. You got Ferg, you added Trigg. You got an emerging Ryan Flanoy. You got a real explosive offense. Your defense, you got Christian Parker, B.T. Jordan. You brought in all of these players, Kenny Clark. You've brought in a Quinnen Williams, Otito Ogbonnia. You got you went out and got Kobe Bryant, Caleb Downs, Jalen Thompson. You got Overshown, hopefully coming back fully healthy. You went and got D. Winters. Myles Garrett would literally, and let me go back to a comment that Ruffin made. Myles Garrett would be almost the Charles Haley trade. Myles Garrett would be the Charles Haley trade. There are very few teams that fall into this category I'm talking about. But I'll be honest with you. Myles, the Dallas Cowboys actually fit the model team that Myles Garrett needs to go to. There's no other team that fits this better than them. Because if I look at the Chicago Bears, well, I'm looking at Dak Prescott. Dak, 31, top 3 quarterback. There's no better quarterback in the league other than who? Patrick Mahomes? You're talking about a team that is right there now. Myles Garrett would literally put the Cowboys, barring injury, you put Myles Garrett on this Dallas Cowboys defense with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark, D. Winters, Caleb Downs, Jalen Thompson. They're a juggernaut immediately. Immediately. They become an absolute juggernaut. Not to mention Rashawn Gary. Let me tell you something. Rashawn Gary with Myles Garrett? Oh, he eating. He eating with Myles Garrett. Now, Bass, this is the point. No team is giving another team 3 first-round picks for one player. Now, I don't think you'd have to give 3 first-round picks. You would have to give 2 first-round picks, but you'd also have to give up some other draft picks. I believe you'd have to give up a couple of players. And if it's Cleveland, they probably, I would say they would be asking for George Pickens. But the Cleveland Browns have actually done a pretty good job in the draft. Don't get me wrong, they don't have no wide receivers better than George Pickens. But I don't think the Cowboys would move off George Pickens this year. But that would be a problem. But I'm not sure. Bass, I'm going to be honest with you. While there are no guarantees in this league, Bass, I'm going to be honest with you. If the Dallas Cowboys were to tell me that they were going to give up 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett, I wouldn't even blink. I wouldn't even blink. I'm just going to be honest with you. I wouldn't even blink. I wouldn't blink at 3 first-round. I wouldn't blink at 3 first-round draft picks. I wouldn't blink. If you told me that the Cleveland Browns would take the Dallas Cowboys 2027, 2028, and 2029, I'm not even blinking. Do it. I wouldn't even think about it. Do it. Absolutely do it. Do it. I wouldn't even blink. I'll be honest with you. Bass, I wouldn't even blink. Do it. Because the Cowboys are that close. The Cowboys are that close. Bass said the only compensation Myles Garrett would get back is similar to Michael Parsons. I don't think it's going to be similar. You can't even approach them unless Cleveland just says we're going to give you a break. You couldn't even approach them with the Michael Parsons offer. But I'm going to tell you this, Bass. If I were the Cowboys, I would do something unprecedented. I would give up 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. I absolutely would. I would give up 3 first-round picks. If that meant I could keep George Pickens, oh no, I'm giving up 3. I mean, I care nothing about 2029. I care nothing about it. I care nothing about 2029. And let me give you the logic behind this. Let me give you the logic behind why I wouldn't care if the Dallas Cowboys gave up 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. Let me tell you why I wouldn't care. Y'all do know that because of what the Dallas Cowboys did with the New York Jets getting Quinnen Williams, so in 2027, the Dallas Cowboys have to give the New York Jets the highest of the 2 first-round picks that they have coming up in 2027. So keep that in your mind. They have to give up whichever one is the highest. But do we not understand? If you were to get Myles Garrett, and if you were to even go to the conference championship, let's just say you go to the NFC championship, where do you think you're drafting? Where do you think you're drafting with Dak Prescott, Myles Garrett, Quinnen Williams, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, all these weapons you're going to have? Where do you think you're drafting in 2027 and 2028 and possibly 2029? Do you really think you're getting back in the top 20 over the next 3 seasons if you have Myles Garrett? I would throw them 3 first-round picks. I would throw them. I would throw those 3 first-round picks. I'm telling you, I would throw them. They could have them because they're not going to be worth anything anyway if we get Myles Garrett. They ain't going to be worth nothing. What would they be worth? What would 3 first-round picks be to the Dallas Cowboys? Nothing. They would be absolutely nothing. You're drafting with Myles Garrett, barring injuries. You're drafting with Myles Garrett. What, 25? What's the lowest you're going? 25? You can have them picks. Ask Dak Prescott. Ask Dak Prescott, would he give up 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett? Boy, I bet you he'd tell him in a heartbeat. You can have them picks. For Myles Garrett? Man, you get to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, book it. You get to the Super Bowl. Bass said, I think it's the Michael package all over again for Garrett. Ain't no way he get 3. Now, Bass, you got to understand what I'm telling you, though. And I'm behind. But Bass, think about this. If you get Myles Garrett, those picks aren't premium picks. They're no longer premium picks. Those are late round draft picks. If you told me the Cowboys got Myles Garrett and only won 8 games in 2026, man, I tell you right now, fire Brian Schottenheimer. Fire him. There's no way you get Myles Garrett on this team. This currently constructed team, there's no way you get Myles Garrett on this team and everyone stays healthy for the most part and you don't make the playoffs? Come on, man. You going. Those picks, you get Myles Garrett, I'm telling y'all Cowboys fans, those picks are not premium, man. Those picks are not premium. And I said Cleveland already let Mulugeta screw with Watson so he could do it again with Pickens and have the Cowboys add 2 more first. Hit on him. You don't even have to give up Pickens. You wouldn't even have to give up Pickens. They've already drafted wide receivers. You wouldn't have to give up Pickens. Give them 3 first-round picks. That's why I wouldn't give them Pickens. We're going to give you 3 first-round picks because we don't want to give up Pickens. No, I'm not giving you Pickens because with Pickens and Garrett, oh my gosh. It's over. Hey, his dudeness. Is that my man, the big Robowski? At least it looked like he with the glow. Man, I'm telling you, I would throw them 3 first-round picks at Cleveland so fast, it would make their head spin. It would make their head spin. I would agree so fast, I would make them even go back and go, wait a minute, is 3, is there something wrong with this? Man, I would do it so fast to make their head spin. Texas boy B. Mac, he said, I wouldn't blink either. I'd just be going to get Myles Garrett jersey. Boy, you better tell, man, let me tell you something. Who cares? Those draft picks, once you get Myles Garrett, they're not going to be premium. I promise you. They are not going to be premium. How do the picks be premium? Those picks become trash. You get Myles Garrett. They may not be trash to Cleveland, but at the same time, they would be able. The Cleveland Browns are basically in rebuild mode. And I'm telling you, Myles Garrett has already said he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. Those 3 first-round picks would make Cleveland feel a whole lot better. They absolutely would. Because at the end of the day, it is 3 first-round picks. It's 3 first-round picks. From the Cowboys, I'd probably throw in 3 first-round picks. Maybe we'll swap some 2s, or maybe we'll swap some 4s, some 3s. We'll swap some 5s and 6s. We'll do all kinds of little crazy stuff down the road. But in the grand scheme of things, 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett if you're the Cowboys. Now, this don't work for another team. I don't even think this works for the Chicago Bears because I don't think they're where the Cowboys are. We're talking Dak Prescott, 31 years of age, at the prime of his career on a huge contract. This is the time to make a move like this with Myles Garrett. Oh, I'd throw those 3 first-round picks. I don't care. Now, Baz, we're light on picks next year, but we still got a first. So I would only give him a first next year. And Baz, think about this. How many picks do you need once you get Myles Garrett? How many picks do you need in 2027? Your team would be in year 2 of the rookies gelling, Myles Garrett and all these guys gelling. You would only be stronger. And when you come back the following year, guess what? Baz, check this out. Don't make your focus the draft. Make your focus free agency. And you make it quality over quantity. You go in free agency when you get Myles Garrett in 2027, you say, okay, what does my team look like? What do I need to enhance it even more? So you maybe boil down your free agency to maybe 2 or 3. You go in the draft, you only got 2 or 3, 4 draft picks. You're not tripping on that. Why? Because you're not worried about the quantity. because you already got quality. You got a lot of quality. From the Cowboys, I care nothing about those 3 first-round picks if I can get Myles Garrett. If that's what it took to get Myles Garrett, I would bring in Myles Garrett because I'm telling you right now, those draft picks are nothing on this team. It's nothing once you get Myles Garrett in here. It's nothing. His dudeness, he said this is the best opportunity the Cowboys may have. His dudeness, I'm telling you. If I were the Cowboys, because this guy is making a great point. There is no team out there that's going to give the Cleveland Browns the offer that they can't refuse. Guess who can do it? The Dallas Cowboys. They can give them the offer that they can't refuse. Give it to them. Give it to them. I would absolutely give it to them. As Azteca said, if you're in win now mode with a 2-year window, then you make a blockbuster trade for Myles. Yes. Headhunter, he's only 30. I'm willing to go out on a limb with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett takes extremely good care of his body. He is a freak athlete. I'm willing to take a gamble on that. I know Myles Garrett at least has 3 seasons left in him. I take that gamble. I would take that gamble. I would take that gamble over Malachi Lawrence turning into the next premier pass rusher. I would take that over Jayshon Barham becoming the next premier pass rusher. I would take that over Donovan Ezeraku becoming the next premier pass rusher of the league. I'm taking Myles Garrett over all 3 of those chances. I absolutely am. I absolutely am. And Dominique, I'm with you. I'll throw Ferg in there too. I wouldn't even care. I got Brevin Spanford and Michael Trigg. I'll throw them in there. I sure would. Christian Legal said, gee, we got Josh Sweat and Jordan Brooks both instead of Myles Garrett. That would improve our defense drastically. We're going to talk about that when we get down to Brooks or Sweat. But I'll tell you this, man, I couldn't even mention Josh Sweat in the, I couldn't even mention Josh Sweat in the conversation. I couldn't even mention him in the conversation. I couldn't do it. Man, y'all better pay attention to Josh Sweat. I think there's a little bit more going on with Josh Sweat than just being disgruntled. Go back and look at some of the stuff on Josh Sweat from last year. Nah, I'm not sure I'd want Josh Sweat. I would much rather trade 3 first-round picks because I know Myles Garrett is better than Josh Sweat every single Sunday. There's not a Sunday that Josh Sweat could be better than Myles Garrett on his team. I wouldn't even blink. I wouldn't even blink. This wouldn't even be a... Boy, Dominique, the name was kept saying, yeah, y'all can miss me with Myles is 30. Y'all, he ain't even trying to win. That's sorry. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I'll take Myles Garrett at 30 years of age over everybody I just mentioned. Shoo. Azteca said our window is closing. 26 and 27 are the years to make a run. Hey, Azteca. 26, 27, and 28. I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, man. Marvin Bain said if they give up 3 first rounds, it would be worth it to win the Super Bowl. Man, what did Jerry Jones say? The check I would write. Shoot, that's the check. Hadounis said go all in for the next 3 years. If it doesn't work, you left nothing on the table. Man, his dudeness, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If the Cowboys gave up 3 first-round draft picks for Myles Garrett, and they didn't go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to give Jerry Jones so many flowers. I'm going to send some flowers to Jerry Jones' crib. Because that, to me, is saying I did all I could do. Hey, man. That's all, hey. Oh, Bass, let me tell you something. I've already mentioned his age. I'm probably behind on the comments. I'm going to tell you something. 30 years old don't mean nothing to me. This man is different, bro. This dude is different. Myles Garrett is an alien, man. He's an alien. Freddie says, gee, you're wrong. There's no guarantee the boys get to the Super Bowl. Freddie Morales, I got news for you. There's no guarantee they get to the Super Bowl without him. there's no guarantee they get to the Super Bowl without it. But I tell you this, Freddie Morales, you give me a healthy Myles Garrett, I bet you the odds go up exponentially. The Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Man, I bet you Vegas would turn man, Vegas would change them numbers so fast it'd make your head spin. Yes, sir, he's doing this. You're right. See, I'm saying the same thing. There's no guarantee those picks work out. No, brother, I'm telling you right now, no. I'm doing it. Demetrius Noel said records are made to be broken, so what's new? Myles Garrett didn't do anything that hasn't been done. Hey, man, I'm going. I'm rolling with him. 23 sacks, I'm rolling with him. Bazzi said, gee, if the Cowboys had to include George Pickens in the deal, would you do it? No. Because I think you can do it without George Pickens. I believe you can do this deal without George Pickens. Because I don't want to subtract from my offense, Bazzi 9. Bazzi 9, is that you really on that avatar? You looking snazzy there, man. Yes, sir. I wouldn't do it with George I wouldn't do it if they wanted George Pickens. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. I want this Dallas Cowboys team to go down in history. If it's me, I'm just telling you me. I want them to be the most loaded team we've ever seen. Because that's how they did it in 92, 93, and 95. A lot of people don't realize something. The 92, 93, 94, and especially 95. So 92, 93, 95 Cowboys. I don't think people realize how loaded they were. They were absolutely loaded. They winning. Do we not realize what the Dallas Cowboys did in 1995? The Dallas Cowboys not only had Charles Haley at the end, they went and got Deion Sanders? What? Deion Sanders has to be one of the, top 50 players to ever play the game? What? People don't realize how loaded the Cowboys were in 1992, 1993, and 1995. They were loaded. You look at them 49ers teams of the 90s, loaded. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles just 2 years ago? That team was loaded. Loaded, man. Absolutely loaded. Absolutely loaded. Because I'm telling you, man, Myles Garrett is in a very strange situation. This guy is making sense. It's not just the fact that somebody can't give the Cleveland Browns something that they can't refuse. The issue is, can they offer Myles Garrett something that he can't refuse? Because what Myles Garrett wants is to compete for a championship. So if some team came along, let's just say some team came along and said, oh, we're going to offer 3 first-round picks. We're going to offer you 3 first-round picks, Cleveland, for Myles Garrett, and you're the New York Jets. Man, I'm Myles Garrett. I'm like, man, no. Ain't no, man, I'm like, man, no. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. The only team that can do this is the Dallas Cowboys, if you ask me. But the problem becomes this. Will they do it? And when I think about will they do it, I'm not going to say they won't do it. I just think the odds of them doing it is really, really low. I think the odds of them doing it is really, really low. Because one thing I know about this version of the Cowboys, I think they're trying to play the more of the 2-year window. I think they're going to go for it this year and could get there. But I think they at least want to give Parker 1 year. But if I was them, I wouldn't be gambling on that. I would give Christian Parker everything I'd give him everything that he wants and more. I absolutely would. I would give him everything that he wants and more. But this is a strange situation for Myles Garrett. It's a strange situation for the Cleveland Browns. You got a player at the peak of his powers, Is it possible that you could put together a team in Cleveland that could win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years? I say no. Okay, Myles Garrett got 23 sacks. Okay, what if he gets 25 next year and you don't go to the playoffs? I mean, who cares about all of those individual accolades, man? You get to a point that you're just saying, doggone it, man, I want to win. And the Cleveland Browns could very well build a Super Bowl team that could be ready in the next 4 years, maybe, if they were to get 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, or whatever the case may be. Let me show you something here. The trade that I think about that you would have to make for Myles Garrett, I talked about this in the video that I made. The trade that you would have to make if you are the Dallas Cowboys is it's probably going to have to be more like this Khalil Mack trade. It was in 2018 that the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders made a blockbuster trade. The Raiders traded to the Bears Khalil Mack, a 2020 second-round pick, and a conditional 2020 fifth-round pick. The Oakland Raiders received 2019 first-round pick, 2020 first-round pick, 2019 sixth-round pick, 2020 third-round pick. Now, the issue is that didn't equate into a Super Bowl. But my pushback on that is they didn't have Dakota Prescott. That would be my pushback. They didn't have Dak Prescott. They didn't have Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. They didn't have that offensive line. They didn't have Ferg, Trigg, Spanford, Turpin, Ryan Flanoy. They didn't have all these players the Cowboys have on offense. And then when you look at some of the pieces the Cowboys added on defense, and I think Myles Garrett would really help cement that defense. And so when you think about all of those things, I think it would require something similar to this. If you didn't give away 3 first-round picks, it would have to be 2 first-round picks, 6th round, 3rd round, maybe some swaps, and maybe you could throw in a couple of players on the Dallas Cowboys that are young. I wouldn't give them a George Pickens, but maybe you would throw in a Ryan Flanoy. Because I'm not getting rid of George Pickens. I don't care what anybody offers. I'm not getting rid of George Pickens. But maybe I would give away a Ryan Flanoy because I got Mingo, I got a wide receiver I drafted, I got people talked about Trayshawn Holden. The Cowboys are very deep in the wide receiver room. And as much as I wouldn't want to give up Ryan Flanoy, if it was 2 first-round picks and you just give me whatever you want in here and maybe we give them a Ryan Flanoy to really go in that wide receiver room and really make that wide receiver room even better for the Cleveland Browns. If I'm the Cowboys, I would take that chance. I really think the Cowboys, it's not whether or not this is a good trade for the Cowboys. The question is, would the Cowboys do it? And I don't know. In the mindset that Jerry Jones is in right now, if Jerry really thought he could do this, man, I'll tell you right now, if Jerry really thought he could pull this off, I think Jerry would pull it off. Issue is, I just don't know. This is why I say these ain't trade rumors for me. This is wishful thinking. This is wishful thinking, Bass. Dominique says, so y'all won't take a chance on Garrett, but y'all won't Cloudy back. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I'm taking a chance on Garrett, man. Mikey Fresh said, if I'm GM for the Cowboys to get Myles Garrett, I would give Cleveland Browns the 1st and the 2nd pick in 2029. And Tyler Guyton over show. Yeah. He's doing this. He said, Jerry's always said he'd do whatever it takes to win another one. Bass said, wreck the salary cap to win it all. We've seen our division rivals do it. We saw what Pickens, Lamb, Javonte gave us with Steele and Guyton. Take the risk. Hey, I'm going to tell you, Bass, you're right. The Eagles did it. The Eagles did it, Bass. Bass said, y'all want to match what they cry. Bass, you crazy. Boy, Bass said y'all wanted one D Crosby. Do y'all realize we were trying to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby? Wow. Well, we was trying to give up 2 first-round picks for Crosby, man. Shoot, hey, man, I'm just telling you. I don't want y'all to get worked up in a frenzy, but I'm just telling you I would do it. Yeah, his dude said, well, here's a chance, Jerry, prove it. The draft picks mean nothing to him. Hey, man, I'm telling you, I'd do it. Bazzi said, gee, if the Browns said we'd have to include Pickens in the deal, which is still, I couldn't do Pickens. Because I believe Pickens is what guarantees him, Garrett, and what else you have. That's the Super Bowl. I'm not going to add to subtract. No, I want a wealth of weapons. The same thing that the Philadelphia Eagles had in 2024. I want the same thing. Hey, man, what's that old saying? I want it all. There will be blood. He said, fans don't understand that Myles is a completely different dude, man. Yes, it's Myles and everyone else. Myles is insane, man. Christian said Haley was 28 when he came to the Cowboys, so I wouldn't mind taking Garrett at 30. And you know what, Legal? And when you think about Garrett, he takes care of his body better than I'm sure Charles Haley ever did. I'm sure way better than he ever did. Yeah, I'm telling you, his doing I would do it. Ron Hannah said, hey, what's up? Yeah, Myles available for trade. The call should have been made yesterday. Man, let me tell you something, boy. Demetrius said no one will care until he gets injured, especially if it happened during the training season. I tell you what, Demetrius Noel. You know what's funny? But sometimes you got to take chances. You want to win championships. And you know what? We got some proof of this. It didn't happen during the regulars. I mean, it didn't happen during the training camp, but Micah Parsons wound up getting hurt. So I understand there's no guarantees. And this is the very reason why I would do it. Because there's no guarantees. JCT Slice. Yeah, send me that Jason McIntyre video. Send it to me. Quentin Scott said, gee, don't be surprised if Dallas Cowboys are working a deal for Myles in 24 hours. It happened on this weekend. Ooh, Quentin Scott. Hey, Sanders Fan Show, you right. That's all it is. Hey, let me tell you something. Boy, if Jerry Jones goes and get Myles Garrett after June 1st, man, let me tell you something. Me and Dominique Pittman go send Jerry Jones some flowers, man. Me and Dominique Pittman. Shoot. Man. DeVar's Worley, he said, gee, the league would start crying if Myles, if we got Myles, everybody would have excuse. You know what they would say? We had a super team. And you know what I would say? So did the 92, 93, 95 Cowboys. They had 3 super teams. People do not realize, man, the Cowboys had 3 super teams in the 90s. If you want to win Super Bowls, man, you just got to do what you got to do. I ain't caring what nobody talk about. I'm doing it. His dude said the Browns just have to sell their fan base on their building for the future and that new stadium. They aren't going to win now with him anyways. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah. Hey, man, 30 years old, man, you still in your prime, man. Bazzy 9, he said, that's all me, G. Where's Tatiana? Man, let me tell you something. I'm going to have to apologize to Tatiana. I don't know, maybe when I said she was going to be my future daughter-in-law, I ain't seen Tatiana since, man. Y'all make sure y'all tell Tatiana if y'all see her somewhere else. I was just joking, man. Tatiana abandoned me after that, man. I ain't seen Tatiana since Bazzy 9. All right, Texas boy B Mac, he said they didn't have salary cap back then. Boy, you better say it. But Texas boy B Mackey. But let me tell you something. I want y'all to think about this. If Howie Roseman was in the same situation as the Cowboys, I bet you Howie Roseman would do it. Yeah, JCT Slice, exactly. Jalen Hurts had a super team. JCT Slice. Let's not leave out Troy Aikman. Let's not leave out Troy Aikman, JCT Slice. Troy Aikman had a super team too. Yeah, Bass, this is why I say these aren't rumors. This is hopeful. This is wishful thinking. Christian Legal, he said, if you were Myles Garrett, would you request a trade and sit out training camp and sit out the season until you got traded? Christian Legal, no. Let me tell you what I would do. If I were Myles Garrett, I would go quietly to the Cleveland Browns front office and I would ask for a trade to the Dallas Cowboys. If I were Myles Garrett, I would ask for the trade. I would do it quietly. I'd try to figure out a way to do it quietly. I would. I wouldn't try to make a spectacle out of it because it doesn't do any good to do that. I would go and respectfully, hey, man, you know what? You guys are rebuilding. I don't want to block the rebuild. I don't want to be a part of the rebuild. I don't want to just rack up stats. I don't want to just go down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game that didn't win a championship. I'm like, nah, man. Hey, let's do this. Let's find a team that'll give us the offer that you guys can't refuse and I can't refuse. Send me to a team that is in the championship run right now, and you go out there and get 2 first rounds, a second, third, whatever you want to do. But I would do it very quietly. I'd do it very quietly. Yeah. Robert Dudley, what's going on? He said, Hurts, Manning, Aikman were good, but defenses and O-line had a very good and great running back play. These quarterbacks all had the pieces part together and healthy or available. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot of teams have had super teams. Go back and look at some of those Steelers teams, super teams. Cowboys, whenever they win, go look at the formula. They have super teams. They absolutely have super teams. I'm talking from coaching to players. From coaching the players down, man. From coaching the players down. They've had super teams. What's going on, Miss Matrix? All right, we'll come back to this conversation here at another time. But boy, let me tell you something. This is wishful thinking, boy. Man said, I bet you Myles Garrett passed a physical right now. Yes, sir. Kip. What up, Kippy? Yeah, his dudeness, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually tried to do it too. But I tell you this, his dudeness, there's no better place for Myles Garrett than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, maybe I'm just biased, y'all. I just think there's no better place than the Dallas Cowboys. You got a quarterback that's at the peak of his powers, but he's past 30. He's playing the best football of his life. He's got weapons. He's got a great coaching staff around him. New defense on the other side. Man, this is the perfect place. I really do. I just think it would be the perfect place. The issue is, will the Cowboys do it? Bass said, yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Don't put it past teams that are better than us to snipe Myles Garrett. Now, keep in mind, Bass, but Garrett gets to say no. I would not be surprised if Myles Garrett would love to come to Dallas. His dude said, I was a teenager when Haley went to the Cowboys. He went to my local high school. Okay, this was big. Yeah, this would be as big as that. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Cowboys are the perfect place for him. It really is. This is the perfect place because you got the perfect quarterback. You got the perfect quarterback. You got the perfect offensive weapons. You got so many things going on. So many things going on. Oh, okay, Kim. You said my matchmaking ain't what ran Tatiana off. Yeah, Bass said, where all the ladies being? Tatiana, Nisa, Lisa, Gina, Angela. Said, G Red, what do you do? Man, I don't know, man. Maybe I started trying to play matchmaking a little too much, man. Larry Golden said, I say it again. We got Garrett. We could have a dynasty, and yes, there's no guarantees except there's God, and we got to pay taxes, and we all gonna die. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I'd take that chance in a heartbeat. I absolutely would. I'd take that, man. I would take that chance so quick. It would make you. I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't even have to. It wouldn't even have to be anything for me. I'd make the phone call my own self. I wouldn't even give a doggone. Most Logan said, I wish we had the young Jerry because he would have been had Myles. Amen. I'm going to pray on. We're going to have to pray. I don't think God cares about football, but I'm going to be praying about this Myles Garrett thing. Boy, I would love to wake up next week and say the Cowboys in a blockbuster trade. They got Myles Garrett for 3 first-round picks. I don't give a doggone. I love it. I'd absolutely love it. Shoot, Texas boy said they would probably block me if I was Jerry because I would be calling them every 5 minutes with a new offer. Boy, you ain't lying, boy. Boy, you ain't lying. They had, boy. Yeah, they had to block me, bro. Sure, I'd be calling them from payphones, bro. They had to block me. Everett, yeah. The Cowboys had 4 super teams in the 90s, yeah. It was just Coach Barry Switzer and Deion Sanders just happened to be on the 49ers in 95. I mean, in 94. Shoot, man. All right, I would love it, boy. His dudeness said he wouldn't be surprised if Jerry's doing it behind the scenes. He knows his future of a championship isn't in Cleveland. He's been loyal. Oh no, you're talking about Garrett. But he wants a ring, and so do the Cowboys. Perfect match, period. I think so, too. I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett does try to say, hey, man, this is the deal. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I really do. Yes, sir. Dudley said, you remember Garrett wearing that cowboy hat? That was a sign. Man, let me tell you, I would love it, boy. I'm telling you. Boy, you best try to get Myles Garrett in here, man. Ooh, woo. Man. Boy, you talking about exciting, man. All right, man, let's hit a couple more subject matters, man. I know that conversation with Myles Garrett, boy. Whew. I don't even want to get my hopes up, but I am going to be praying. I am going to be praying about this thing with Myles Garrett. Big Perk 72 said with Myles Garrett, you put a toehold on both ends of the opposing offense. 3 first-round picks, get her done right now. I'm sending carry pictures to get this stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man, Michael Smooth. Oh, lost your mom on the 28th of this month. Sorry about that, Michael Smooth. Come on, man. How old was your mama, man? How old was your mom? Hate that, man. Prayers up for Michael Smooth, man. Prayers up for Michael Smooth and his family. That's tough, man. That's tough, brother. I know how you feel, though. It's coming up on my mom's death. My mom died in June. It don't even seem like it's been as long as it is, but boy, every year around this time, boy, you never get used to your parents being gone. Yes, sir. Prayers up, man. Prayers up. Bass said somebody need to be sending Jerry pictures of Myles Garrett. Boy, you ain't lying, boy. You ain't lying. Lil D Texas said, Jerry's still nervous. Just because you signed him don't mean you will have him. Man, let me tell you something. I take that chance on Myles Garrett. I'd absolutely take that chance. All right, let's get some of our quick hits out of the way, and then we're going to go to another big segment with Michael Irvin on DLLS. Let's hit a quick segment.
Here we go.
Let's make sure we keep Michael Smooth and his family in our prayers. Keep Michael Smooth and his family in our prayers. All right, Campbell retires. This isn't a big deal, but Paris Campbell decided to retire, which created another roster spot for the Cowboys during this, whatever this off-season or during this training camp season or whatever it is. But Paris Campbell decided that he was going to, hang it up. You know, Paris Campbell is one of these guys, super fast, and we see this quite a bit. One of these guys, super fast, but just couldn't make it, just never really made it in this league. You know, just never really made it. You know, it's one thing to have speed, but you also got to develop, you know, your skills and things of that nature. And he just was never able to quite get it going, it seems like. Paris Campbell retires 7 pro seasons, $10.7 million in career earnings, but that's still great. I mean, you know, don't compare this money to what somebody else is making, but Man, you make $10.7 million in that short amount of time. Man, you could live your whole life off that if you invested it right. It says Paris Campbell, the wide receiver, who was once a second-round draft pick of the Colts and then won a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles, is retiring from the NFL, having never caught a pass in 14 months with the Cowboys. Wow. Yeah, the club announced Wednesday they'd be moving the 28-year-old Campbell to the reserve retired list. Campbell had signed a one-year deal with Dallas in March 2025 and spent the majority of last season on the practice squad. He made one game appearance, playing a total of 8 games, 2 on offense, 6 on special teams. I mean, hey, man. So he's retiring. Campbell was a 1,000-yard receiver coming out of Ohio State in 2019, but saw his first 4 years in the league marred by multiple injuries. Yep. While with Indianapolis, he then spent the 2023 season with the Giants, turning in only modest numbers. He parlayed that into a new opportunity in Philly in 2024, got a Super Bowl. He didn't add a lot to it. Caught 6 balls during the Eagles Super Bowl. Okay. What was that, 59 win? But did not log any stats in the postseason. Campbell leaves the NFL with 123 catches across 50 game appearances. Wow. In 7 years. Wow. Man, there are people do that. And there's people who've done that in one season, man. He walks away from the game with $10.67 million in career earnings. So now the Cowboys have 3 open roster spots. So he is out of here. Not a huge loss. Not a huge loss for the Dallas Cowboys. And we already know that. Not a huge loss for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, not a huge loss for the Dallas Cowboys. So no big deal. But Paris Campbell has retired. And again, $10.7 million ain't nothing to sneeze at over the years he's had in the NFL. I mean, he's lasted longer than some. Not for long league. So Paris Campbell is out of here. All right. Let's get another one of these quick hits. Dak Prescott wins the Good Guy Award.
Yes! Here we go!
Let's think about this thing with Dak Prescott and the Good Guy Award. Man, let me tell you something about Dak Prescott. Do y'all remember when Cam Newton got to the Super Bowl that year and Cam Newton didn't want to go to the podium? I'm going to tell you something about Dak Prescott that is so different. One thing about Dak Prescott, in any of the losses that anybody has ever blamed Dak Prescott for, Dak Prescott has owned those losses. Dak Prescott has went to the podium at times that I was like, I just can't believe he's going to the podium. Dak would go to the podium. I mean, I remember that year in 2023, boy, they destroyed Dak Prescott. He still went to the podium. It's no wonder that Dak Prescott would win this, that Dak Prescott would win this Good Guy Award that they call it from the actual press. It's probably long overdue for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is the neighborhood good guy. Says here the NFL says Dak Prescott is a good guy, and they just rewarded him for the All-Pro quarterback. This is worded so crazy. Let me go past this part. Prescott, the 2022 Walter Payton Man of the Year, was honored in May 2026 as the league-wide winner of the Good Guy Award, an honor bestowed annually upon a player by the Professional Football Writers Association to an NFL player. Man, these guys got to do more proofreading. And A-N, not A-N-D. To an NFL player for his qualities and professional style in helping pro football writers do their jobs, who consistently remain available to the media. Dak Prescott is one of the more accessible star players in the NFL, said Dallas PFWA chapter vice president and former PFWA President Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News. He talks once a week during the season and, of course, after every game. However, Dak is needed for an off-the-record conversation. He's there for you. Dak explains the game to you from a game plan standpoint and reviews certain plays if you ask. The trust he has with the beat writers is respected on both sides. He understands the job of reporters more than anybody. Man, let me tell you something, boy. Dak is giving some interviews, man, that I'm like, boy, man, I would have had a hard time giving. But Dak Prescott has always been available. He's always been available after games. Dak Prescott, even after sometimes even Troy Aikman might say some little snide remarks about him, he'll still even interview with Troy Aikman. I mean, Dak Prescott is just the all-around guy. Brandy said, Dak Prescott, will you marry me? You got to be faithful, though, because I will set it off. Brandy, you do know how much Dak Prescott is worth, don't you, Brandy? Does a man have to be faithful when he's worth $250 million, $300 million? I'm playing. I'm actually playing, Brandy. Yeah, you're right. He gotta be faithful. He definitely gotta be faithful because money can't buy you love. I don't care how much money somebody giving you. If they can't be faithful, shoot, you'll just be miserable with money. Some people say they'd rather be miserable with money than without it, but no, man. All the money in the world ain't worth getting cheated on. All the money in the world ain't worth getting cheated on. But Dak Prescott, shoot, man. Dak Prescott is giving some interviews, and I'm just like, man, bruh, I don't know if I could have did it. What up, real estate vet? Dominique, he said, Lord Brady, we don't know if the man was really cheating. I don't know if he was really cheating, Dominique, but I tell you this. Man, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. You know, when you start talking about these young guys with money, man, that's tough, bro. Now, me, I would think different. I'd actually want to get me a wife and settle down because I wouldn't be spreading my money out there with baby mamas and all that stuff. I wouldn't do that. I would just be so protective of my money. I just wouldn't do that. But, you know, these young guys, man, these women, and some of these women, Brandy, they know what they're signing up for. A lot of they know what they're signing up for. They do. They know what they're signing up for. And some of them are willing to live that life. They're just willing to say, I'll take the money. I mean, they're just saying, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to you cheating as long as I can live a lavish lifestyle. Now, me, I ain't gonna say I'd rather live in the po house, but I'll tell you this. I would definitely rather be without money than be a millionaire with a woman that is unfaithful. A lot of danger in that. A lot of heartache and anguish, too. But as it applies, thankfully, Brandy, this isn't anything to do with Dak Prescott off the field. But as it pertains to Dak Prescott in the media, Dak Prescott is always available. I've always been impressed with this about Dak Prescott because I'm telling you, man, Dak Prescott is giving some interviews at times where, man, I'm like, bro, I'd have been crying. I would have been a mess. I wouldn't even be able to talk to nobody. But Dak Prescott, always available for the media, always polite to the media. Just a very good. Dak Prescott is definitely what you call, for all intents and purposes, Dak Prescott, great leader, all around good guy. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, his dude said that's when you get that prenup. Yep, that's when you get that prenup. All right, let's move on over here. I know y'all have already seen this. I thought it was very interesting when Michael Irvin was talking to one DLLS. And Bass sent me something. He said, they're going to call you. He said, you're right, G. They're going to call you a prophet before it's over. And it seems like that Irvin was saying some of the same things that I've been saying about George Pickens, even when people were in their feelings about George Pickens. And maybe what Michael Irvin said will bring some people give some people a little bit of solace when it comes to this. All right, let's check this out.
To have
This was Michael Irvin on DLLS. Let's play a piece of this. Let's check it out.
any conversations with George Pickens, then you, Dave Mugetta, everybody out here could have laid a number out that was not real and unfathomable. Oh, you got to pay them top of JSN, numbers that'll go crazy. Jerry said, no, I'm going to keep the right to retain him, but allow everybody to negotiate with him, and that number never came forward. Nobody.
Yeah. You know, you got to think about this. What's going on, Bama boy? Good to see you. You know, you got to think about, again, you know, if this was maybe another team and we were looking at this from the outside in, I mean, we would probably be saying kind of what Michael Irvin is alluding to. And I've said this, I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things, Jerry Jones has really played this right. Jerry Jones has really played this right to a degree as it pertains to this being beneficial to the Cowboys. This being beneficial to the Cowboys. You know, you retain the right to George Pickens. You know, you want to see him do it another year. You're going to still pay him. And in the grand scheme of things, I've been saying this, man, George is going to win in the end. I believe George Pickens is going to win in the end. George is going to get that bag. The issue is how much is it? How much is it? And see, George Pickens is actually in a similar situation to what I was saying about Myles Garrett. So think about this. So the New England Patriots, the big talk is post June 1st, they're going to sign A.J. Brown. But if you're following the negotiation out there between the Patriots and A.J. Brown's representation, the Patriots are not wanting to give up 2 first-round picks for A.J. Brown. They're not even wanting to give up a first and a second-round pick for A.J. Brown. Man, I'm telling you, it is unprecedented to give up 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver. It's just unprecedented. Because the only way the team would do something like that is that they would have to say that we are one player away, and that one player is a wide receiver. Well, there's not a team out there, one, that's going to wreck their salary cap and give up that draft capital. So at the end of the day, I mean, what the Joneses did, I mean, I don't have to like it, but what they kind of did is it's genius. Okay, we're going to put it out there. We're going to let you see that nobody is willing to break the bank and wreck their salary cap. And in actuality, this is exactly what that tag, as I've always said, it's exactly what it was designed to do. It was designed for George Pickens to go nowhere. That's exactly what it was designed for. We them boys, he said, Irvin just copied what you said, G. I don't know if he copied me, but sounds a lot like it, doesn't it?
Ever threw out those crazy numbers. You see why? You know why? Because we gave you a chance to see some of reality. You see what I'm saying? Now, he laid that thing out exclusively. So now you know that that crazy number, like JSN's number, is not out here. You'll say, okay, let's look at this another way. Let's not look at this as they don't want to pay me money. Let's look at this as last year I had a team that didn't want to give me anything. They let me go. Right now I got a team that's willing to say, I'll pay you $30 million right now, and we'll do a $30 million a year deal right now.
Did I not say the same thing? Bass, I know why you said it now. I said the same thing. Did I not say that people are looking at this the wrong way? Did I not say this? Yes, I would love for George Pickens to have a long-term deal with the Cowboys. But at the same time, I'm going to be happy that the Cowboys have George Pickens this season, number one. Number two, George Pickens is getting an opportunity to make $27 million to show the Cowboys that last year wasn't a fluke, show the whole league that what he did last year wasn't a fluke. And so think about it. When the Cowboys got Pickens, I said this, people aren't thinking on this level. People didn't want George Pickens in their locker room. The Dallas Cowboys said, come on to the locker room. Not only will we let you in the locker room, we're going to give you the opportunity to prove this league wrong about you. So whether we extend you or we trade you next season, you're going to get the bag, and we're going to give you the opportunity to do it. Man, sometimes you just got to realize when God gives you another opportunity, and rather than complaining and listening to all the noise, you just got to say thank you. George Pickens, and I'm sure and I'm hoping that somebody is in his ear saying, bro, don't worry about this. You're getting you are getting the opportunity of a lifetime on the biggest stage and getting the opportunity to make one of the biggest impacts on the biggest stage on one of the biggest teams in sports. What else could you ask for? What else could you ask for? Because a lot of times when people get their reputation tarnished, they have to claw back up from the trenches. They got to work around for years. He's going to get to do this in 2 years, while at the same time making $27 million this year, $33 million next year, $60 million in 2 years. Man, you can't. What else can you ask for, man? What else can you ask for?
That's not a bad deal when you look at where you stand and where you started. Because our measurement is distance traveled. And to me, that sounds like George has traveled a lot of great distance, and he needed to see this and not let those people in this microphone and people speaking into this microphone inflate a number that we never would have been able to reach.
What did I say? If I was the advisor to George Pickens, I was saying some of the same things. Man, I'm telling you, you got to be careful who you let in your ear. You got to be careful who you listen to. The Bible says faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. But what people don't realize, that's a compound sentence. Faith comes by hearing. You got to be careful who you listen to. And this is why I was so perturbed by Troy Aikman. Well, usually when a player performs, they get paid for it. Troy, we don't need you coming up in here making trouble, bruh. We don't need you up in here because you're mad that the Cowboys didn't make you some kind of front office personnel. We don't need you up in here trying to tell us what you would have did, trying to get George Pickens and whoever is around him all stirred up again by saying, you see what Troy Aikman said? Even Troy Aikman say you right. Yeah, go and hold out. We don't need that kind of conversation. Troy Aikman should have been talking like Michael Irvin. He should have been talking like Emmitt Smith. Or at least if he's going to say whatever he said, don't try to say it in a way to where you're trying to stir up something in somebody else's house. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. George Pickens has controlled this whole narrative the way that he should. And I applaud whoever has been saying or whatever they've been doing around him to help him get through this. And I believe Michael Irvin even talking about this. This should help him out too. This should absolutely help him out. Whatever God has for you, God has for you. Michael Irvin, George Pickens is going to get his just due. Trust me.
And then had that fight between Jerry and David Mulugeta that they really wanted. We may have a peaceful offseason that'll give us a peaceful preseason that can give us a real damn good season. That's all.
Yep. Been saying these same things, man. We need a quiet, boring offseason so that this team can finally focus on football only. That's all we need. That's all we need. Don't need all this old dumb stuff. Bad said, he said, these folks are 105.3. The fans say Aikman doesn't pull punches, but they claim even the playmaker kissed Jerry's butt. Your thoughts? A bunch of junk. Bass, I was going to save this, but now that we're getting ready to get to the Troy Aikman section anyway, let me tell you something about where I am with Troy Aikman. I want y'all to think back to the 90s. About Troy Aikman. And a lot of people may not remember this. But Troy Aikman was one of the worst things happening in the Dallas Cowboys locker room from this perspective. Troy Aikman was talking so bad about Barry Switzer. He was really talking down on Barry Switzer. And I don't know if y'all caught this, but if you go back and look at that Netflix documentary, and you go back and look at some of the things that have been put online about the Barry Switzer era in Dallas, a lot of those players were actually for Barry Switzer. They were taking up for Barry Switzer. And because of some of the things that Troy was saying about Barry Switzer, they were not on the same page with Troy Aikman during that whole situation. And they wound up winning the Super Bowl with Barry Switzer. Now, I think they would have won more Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, I mean, of course they would have won more with Jimmy Johnson. But Troy still sometimes, to me, forgets that he benefited from being around a bunch of dogs. We got to stop acting like Troy Aikman was leading the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, it is well documented. The leader, there were a bunch of leaders on the team, but doggone it, Michael Irvin was one of, if not the leader of that team. They had a bunch of dogs on that team. And I know everybody says, oh, the quarterback is the leader. Man, it's a blessing when you get on a team like the Cowboys in the 90s. Those guys were all leaders because that's how Jimmy built them. And I'm not sold on Troy not pulling any punches because, Bass, we've heard ourselves. I'm sorry, but Troy says some things, and just because you say a thing, that don't make it the right thing. This dumb stuff that Troy be saying, oh, and Dak Prescott's pay. Stay out of that man's pockets. We don't need you talking about Dak Prescott's pockets. We don't need you stirring up that kind of stuff. You know what? I just don't think Troy Aikman, in the grand scheme of things, I just don't think he would have fit with Jerry Jones and these guys. I don't think he would have fit. I think it would have been nothing but hell if Troy Aikman was in the front office for the Cowboys. I think it would be nothing but hell, proverbial hell, if he was in the front office. I'm telling y'all right now, Brian Schottenheimer is doing it the right way. It does no good for anybody to be in the front office of the Cowboys being at odds with the front office in the court of public opinion. If you want to be at odds behind closed doors, if you want to disagree with them behind closed doors, because I'm sure Schottenheimer, Jerry has already said that Schottenheimer has alluded, Jerry's already alluded to Schottenheimer disagrees with them behind closed doors. But in front of them cameras, Brian Schottenheimer has created a united front behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Brian Schottenheimer has done this better than anybody since Jimmy Johnson. And I dare say the Cowboys have put so much trust in Shotty that I haven't seen them put in a lot of people that's been around here. And so, Troy Aikman is one of these guys that he thinks because he says whatever is on his mind, that makes him some kind of great leader. That don't make you a great leader. That doesn't make you a great leader. Just because you're outspoken doesn't make you a great leader. Because Dak Prescott isn't as outspoken as Troy, but I would dare say that Dak is a better leader than Troy Aikman. He just don't have the team that Troy Aikman had around him. I can only imagine Dak Prescott with a team like Troy Aikman had around him. You want to talk about dynasty? I believe we'd be talking about not the 92, 93, 95 dynasty of the Cowboys. I believe we would be talking about another similar New England Patriot dynasty. I do. Dak Prescott with a super team would be a decade-winning team. A decade-winning team. I don't dislike Troy. I actually like Troy. I just think Troy's one of them people. He's one of those people that just, he relishes in saying whatever he wants, and he thinks whatever he says is gospel, but it's not. It's not. Whatever he says is not gospel. And I understand, people give him a lot of respect because he's Troy Aikman. But hey, you know what? Bruh, you want a super team, man. They had to bring in Norv Turner to fix you. Even Jimmy had to fix your mentality. But don't think you're Jimmy. And nobody needs to get it mistaken. Troy Aikman ain't Jimmy, man. Troy Aikman ain't Jimmy. I want to see all this old crazy talk. All this old crazy talk he does. Okay, we'll do it in Miami then. You want to show us how good and brilliant your football mind is? Shoot, if you would do it in Dallas, if you could do it in Miami, man, we finna give you all kinds of props. Yeah, do it in Miami then. What's going on, Tatiana? You ain't lying, Bass. I mentioned Tatiana, and here she is. What is going on, Tatiana? Good to see you. Tatiana, I thought I'd ran you off trying to make you into my future daughter-in-law. I thought I ran you off. I'm glad to see you. So, and to show you where Troy is. See, Troy's very bitter right now towards the Cowboys. He's never going to admit it. Some people won't admit it. Troy is very bitter towards the Cowboys. Troy has been wanting to obviously work for the Cowboys. And Michael Irvin is going to say the quiet part out loud. And what he says, I haven't heard all of it, but I just heard one statement he made about Troy, and I said, what he's saying about Troy is telling you how Troy feels. Just check this out. I'm sure some of y'all saw it. Check this out.
And Jerry put an exclusive franchise tag on George Pickens and allowed nobody to have any conversations with George Pickens.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the one. I thought this was the one. Let me go back and see if I can find it. Troy Aikman talking, Michael Irvin talking about Troy Aikman. I believe he hit it right on the head. Troy Aikman is bitter. He is absolutely bitter. He is absolutely bitter towards the Cowboys, and he can't hide it. He cannot hide that he's bitter towards the Cowboys. All right, let me see here. All right, here it is right here. Check this out.
This is the guy who's brought the attention to the Cowboys, right? Those 90s teams are why people look at the Cowboys the way they do today. And Troy Aikman was a large part of that. But now he's helping someone else build their dynasty.
But see, with all due respect to Jesse Holley, now I want you to hear what he said. Now, what Jesse Holley said versus what Troy Aikman wants to do are two different things. Jesse Holley, I'm going to replay it. Jesse Holley said, Troy was a large part. Well, Jesse, all due respect, you know more football than I do. But I was alive during that time. I watched those teams. Troy was a large part, but was he larger than Emmitt Smith? Anybody want to know what happened in 1993 when Emmitt Smith held out for just 2 games? 0-2. Tell me what you want to about Troy Aikman. That team ran through the running game. That offensive line and Emmitt Smith, everything was predicated on it. Emmitt Smith today, let me tell you something. Emmitt Smith today would be the highest paid running back in history. He would break the bank in today's modern NFL. Emmitt could play in any era. And with that line that they had, and even Michael Irvin said that it is Emmitt that made that line better. Troy Aikman played a large part. But when you're talking about the 92, 93, 95 Cowboys, how many of them didn't play a large part? Troy played a large part. Irvin played a large part. Emmitt played a large part. The line played a large part. The defense played. I mean, you could just go down the line on the defense. They were the #1 overall defense in 1992. They had what's known as the proverbial super team. They all played a large part. Man, it is so funny to me. People don't even realize, Katharina Kiss, people don't even realize it. Dallas Cowboys fans were not even having conversations about Troy Aikman being the best quarterback in the league. We were never even having those conversations. No one would have had those conversations. The Dallas Cowboys were a great team, period. They were a great team. They were an absolutely great team. We never asked Troy to do what we're asking Dak to do. Dak, we need you to play outside of yourself. Dak, we need you to take the team to a whole nother level. Dak, we need you to make no mistakes. Dak, we need you to run 2 touchdowns, throw 4 touchdowns. Dak, we need you to do everything. We want Dak Prescott playing offense and defense. It's not what Troy Aikman had to do. It's not what Troy Aikman had to do. And I'm going to let you hear Jesse Holley, what he says. No disrespect to Jesse Holley, but listen to what he says.
How do you look at that from a standpoint of this is a guy who's brought the attention to the Cowboys, right? Those 90s teams are why.
Hold on a second. Troy didn't bring attention to the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. Stop this. These are lies. They were losers when Troy came here. Emmitt, Michael, the triplets, they all brought attention to the Dallas Cowboys, and especially Jimmy. Jimmy was a high-profile coach, comes straight out of college, winning championships, comes to the Cowboys. Jerry Jones hires and fires Tom Landry. Stop it. Troy Aikman didn't bring this kind of attention that I don't know really what Jesse's alluding to on this. What do you mean attention? The attention was already on them because Jerry fired Tom Landry. Jimmy takes over. All eyes are on Jimmy and Jerry. People hated Jimmy. They hated Jerry when they first came. Not to mention, Herschel Walker was a huge player here. He was bigger than Troy Aikman. What are we talking about?
Why people look at the Cowboys the way they do today.
No, it's not
and
true.
Troy Aikman was a large part of that, but now he's helping someone else build their dynasty.
Right.
So let's think about this. So we could argue all day long about what part he played. But it's not like Troy Aikman helped build the dynasty. It's not like he was involved in player acquisition. So why would we think because he was a very good quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, he knows football, he's a good quarterback, great quarterback. So explain to me again, how does this translate into Troy Aikman being good in somebody's front office? I'm going to use the same example I used the last time. Michael Jordan, arguably the best player to ever play the game. We saw what happened when he got the Charlotte Hornets. And you want to know one of the things that was bad about Michael Jordan? Wasn't very good at player acquisition, and also one of these people, because of who he is, dare I say, hard on players? Just because you were a great player, that doesn't mean you're supposed to be working in somebody's front office. I'm questioning I'm questioning Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT of quarterbacks. I'm questioning Tom Brady working with the Raiders. I'm questioning that. What makes anybody say that, hey man, Tom Brady, why isn't Tom Brady working for the New England Patriots? Why not? Why isn't Tom Brady working for the New England Patriots? Why isn't Terry Bradshaw working for the Pittsburgh Steelers? You could go down the line on great quarterbacks. Why are they not working in the front office of teams? Why not? Just because you were a great quarterback doesn't make you good at working in somebody's front office. But Michael Irvin is clearly about to reveal the feelings of one Troy Aikman.
Down to South Beach.
Well, Troy Aikman was the main part of it, to be real with you, and all of it. And it does pain me to see that. I mean, I think it's criminal for any club not to try to just glean as much as you can from a guy like Troy Aikman, whose job is to go and talk to teams, and talk to coaches, and bring an understanding of what's going on behind the scene to the world. So he understands each thing that's going on in your organization. I mean, there is no.
So where's his credentials for that? Where is Troy Aikman's credentials for what Michael Irvin is explaining? Now, understand, Michael ain't going to say nothing bad about Troy. It is what it is. He's not going to say anything bad about Troy. Where's his credentials? What do you mean he knows what goes on with every aspect of the team? Why? Because he's a television broadcaster? There's no real correlation in that. There's no correlation. But I do think all Michael Irvin is doing is conveying this man's feelings. Yeah, this man's feelings is hurt because the Cowboys don't have him in the front office. His feelings are hurt.
Better place of information than to get from a guy like Troy Aikman. And Tom Brady's smart enough to be doing that and have part ownership into a team. I think.
But notice Michael Irvin. No disrespect, y'all know he's my favorite wide receiver. But what team is Tom Brady with again? With all of the discounts that Tom Brady gave the New England Patriots? Why didn't Robert Kraft say, Tom Brady, come work for the Patriots? Why didn't he? I mean, we're basically almost trying to hate on Jerry Jones for not allowing Troy Aikman to work in the front office for the Dallas Cowboys, knowing full well that Jerry Jones and Troy Aikman don't mesh. They haven't meshed for years. And we're saying that Tom Brady is working for another team, but he's not working for the Patriots? Is that criminal too? I mean, I'm just asking Dallas Cowboy fans. If Irvin said it's criminal, if it's criminal for Troy to not to be working for the Cowboys, Well, is it criminal that Tom Brady isn't working for the New England Patriots? Is it just as criminal? I mean, which one is it? Which one? And this is why I say when you listen to this, they're not staying in context of trying to make the right comparisons. Jesse Holley talks about what Troy brought to the team in the 90s. Mike says he was a main part or the main part. But explain to me again, what does that have to do with running a team or being in the front office and making decisions? What does that have to do with anything? How are those two things related?
That's a hell of an advantage for Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, he has to get it right. So yeah, absolutely, that hurts me. It pains me to see that happening because I know Troy wanted to do that. Troy wanted a John Elway situation here in Dallas, and I know he wanted it, and certainly he's earned it. But it's not going to happen, you know. And I.
So how did it work out? You think about even with John Elway. In John Elway in the Denver Broncos. How hard did John Elway struggle to get a quarterback in Denver? How hard did he struggle? How hard did he struggle? I mean, when you look at John Elway in Denver, man, it hasn't been. Well, I mean, even when he was there, it wasn't the greatest situation. I mean, thankfully they went and got Manning. But even John Elway is kind of like a cautionary tale with the Denver Broncos. I want to pull up something I want to pull up John Elway. I mean, you think about John Elway, 89 and 88 with the Denver Broncos. He had a 503 winning. Let me make sure. I want to get his front office record. I want to make sure. I'm going to see if I can find it on the next one. But you think about it in the grand scheme of things. John Elway wasn't that good with the Denver Broncos. I mean, he really wasn't. And to try and compare Troy Aikman to this thing with John Elway, got to think about the difference again, no disrespect to Michael Irvin, the relationship that John Elway has with that ownership. Now, if you think about Troy Aikman's relationship with one Jerry Jones, man, if you ask me, Troy Aikman has went out of his way. Troy Aikman has went out of his way at almost every turn to prove or to show that he doesn't like anything that Jerry Jones does. So you think that Jerry Jones is going to be inclined to bring you in to run his team? Do what? If y'all don't know this, let me let you in on something. Let me let you in on something. This life is about relationships. This life is about relationships. If you don't have the right relationship with people, you can take this any kind of way you want to. If you don't have the right relationship with people, you're not going to get very far unless you do your own thing. Do your own thing. But Aikman, how many times has Aikman expressed that he doesn't have any respect for Jerry Jones, football acumen, decisions, anything? And even if it's warranted, let me tell you something. You one of them people that's always popping off and always trying to tell people how you feel and what you think. Well, you better understand something, that everybody don't want them kind of folk around them. I'm just giving you the truth. You can love it we can love it, like it, or hate it. We can love it, like it, or hate it. But I'm gonna tell you about me. You don't get to come in my house and tell me how you want my house to be ran. You don't get to come in my business and tell me how to run my business, even if I'm running it in the ground. You don't get to do that. Now, maybe we got a relationship. Maybe if we got the right kind of relationship, maybe if you got some kind of track record of showing me that what you can do, maybe me and you can have some conversations. But when has Troy ever showed that he has respect for Jerry Jones? When? Very real, very, very rare. And so for you think about Irvin. For Irvin to even be saying what he's saying, with all due respect, because I love Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin has a great relationship with Jerry Jones. Absolutely great relationship. And even when Michael Irvin don't agree with Jerry, Michael Irvin is always careful not to disrespect Jerry. He's always careful not to do it. And this is why, like Baz said, some people say, yeah, Emmett, he kisses his butt and Irvin kisses his butt. No, they understand something. That when you want to have a relationship with somebody, you think about Emmitt Smith. How much success do you think Emmitt is having off the field with Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones is still helping Emmitt Smith get rich. Why? Great relationship. I'm telling you, young folk, if somebody have not told you, relationships matter. Relationships matter. Absolutely every single time. And don't let nobody tell you that they don't. They matter. And for anybody to think that Jerry was going to hire Troy Aikman, I don't know. I don't know what you've been looking at. I don't know what you've been looking at. And Dominique, I can agree with what you're saying. You said that's why it's been 30 years, 30 seasons, Dallas hasn't sniffed a championship game, because Jerry thinks nobody can do the job better than he can. Well, I'm going to tell you this, Dominique, I can agree with that, but where I'm going to disagree with you, you're not even going to sell me on that Troy Aikman can do a better job than Jerry Jones. You or nobody else. You're not going to sell me on that. We got to stop discounting, and I'm not saying you're doing that, Dominique, but we got to stop discounting what Jimmy Johnson did and what they did in that era of no salary cap, the Herschel Walker trade. People just throw that stuff in the trash like Jimmy just came in and just said, man, I'm going to just roll up my sleeves and I'm going to build this team from the ground up, draft after draft after draft after draft after draft. That is not what Jimmy did. Jimmy came in with a dog mentality in a non-salary cap era, got a Herschel Walker trade, and turned that doggone trade into somewhere between what? They say somewhere between 20 to 40 players. That's what they did in an era that is unprecedented. And Troy Aikman, let's stop pretending like Troy Aikman, I don't know what people think. What, Troy Aikman gonna come in and do the same thing that Jimmy did? Man, people ain't doing that on other teams. They're not doing that on other teams. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. It's absolutely crazy work. And for somebody to even fathom that if Jerry had been listening to Troy Aikman, they would have won a championship by now? Come on, man. Come on. Okay, let's see you doing on Miami.
I rest my mind to that reality. I wish Jerry would at least have brought him in. You know, he's certainly not going to turn it over like they did in Denver. They turned it over to John.
No, you ain't a Jones, you ain't getting it.
He's not going to do that. And
okay, but what is that going to get you? What is that going to get you? Man, people don't realize how hard it is to win Super Bowls. This is what's wrong with this part of the generation. This is what's wrong with this part of this generation. They do not realize what went into the 90s Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. They don't realize what it took. This is why I started this show off with the Myles Garrett situation, the Myles Garrett conversation, because it takes a Myles Garrett type of move to win championships. People don't understand this. You got to make championship moves. I mean, absolute championship. And sometimes in those championship moves, you got to get lucky. You got to get you got to get lucky. The Cowboys got lucky because they found a dummy in the Minnesota Vikings. They found a dummy that basically said, we'll trade you these players, and if you cut them, you get these draft picks. What dum-dum does that? So what, thinking Troy gonna get that deal? I'm not buying any of this. This is all Troy Aikman's feelings being hurt. And I understand what Michael Irvin is doing, but in no universe am I agreeing. Let me go back to what Dominique said. Could Jerry have helped himself by actually getting somebody who knows things about the salary cap, the front office, and all of those things to help him? And maybe they could have done better over the last 30 years. Yes, 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 yes. But to say that if they would have brought Troy Aikman in the front office, it would be any different? No, 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 no. Because Troy Aikman himself obviously doesn't understand what went into them winning those 90s, went into them winning in the 90s. It's unprecedented. We'll never see that era again. The closest thing we have to it, the closest thing we have to what the Cowboys did in 92, 93, 94, 95 is the Myles Garrett situation. It's the closest thing we have to it. And a lot of us sitting here, we know not only are we not going to do it, but there are other teams that are not going to do it either. There are other teams that are not going to do it either. They're going to throw some attempts out there, I'm sure, but they're not going to do what they really need to do. If you want to get that Myles Garrett trade, man, you got to throw something out there. As that guy said, who's going to give the Cleveland Browns the offer that they can't refuse? Because that's what you're going to have to do. Robert Dudley said Miami Dolphins was great, a very good organization. Don Shula was a mastermind. Don Shula and Dan Marino left Miami. Has been bad organization since. And you think about this, and they brought in Jimmy. They brought Jimmy in. They brought in Jimmy for consultation. Last time I checked, I don't think Miami's turning the team over to Troy. They may be asking him some input on these things and that thing, but last time I checked, they didn't throw him. They didn't turn the team over to him. Bassett, I agree with both sentiments here. Troy didn't know a Caleb Downs before the hype. He's not a GM, but I also agree Jerry sucks. Steven is cheap as heck. Yes. Bass, two things can be true. 3 things can be true. Do I agree with Dominique on, yeah, could they have brought some other people in? Yes, I agree. But to say that Troy Aikman being in the organization would make it better, I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. And the reason why I don't agree is because I agree with the way Brian Schottenheimer is doing it. I agree with the way Brian Schottenheimer is doing it. Brian Schottenheimer is doing it the way you're supposed to do it. You understand who you work for. If you want to work for an organization, understand who you're going to work for. Learn how to navigate in amongst the people who you work for. And if you know how Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones is, it is your goal. You got to get them to trust you so that they will listen to you to make football moves. And this is why I love the way Brian is doing it, because I don't think Troy would have did it the way Brian is doing it. Brian has come into this organization. He understands how it operates because he was already here before he started even doing some of the coaching stuff. He understood how this thing operates, and he's operating within it. And he has gotten more done. Brian Schottenheimer has gotten more done in 2 years than Mike McCarthy got done in 5. Brian Schottenheimer, if you ask me, in 2 years, he's gotten more accomplished than Jason Garrett. And I give Jason Garrett a lot of credit because Jason Garrett was trying to get the Cowboys back to the 90s Cowboys too. I think he's done a better job than Parcells, because Parcells, the thing about Parcells was, I've won a Super Bowl. I know how to do this. And I do think there was some friction there between him and Jerry. But Brian Schottenheimer, so far, he's done it exactly the way you're supposed to do it. You understand who you're working for. And rather than you coming in trying to get the court of public opinion to turn against the ownership, turn against the front office, creating chaos on the team, no, you come in, you get the front office to trust you. You go in there, like I said last year, the thing that I love about Brian Schottenheimer and the way that he got Matt Eberflus out of here is that he outworked Matt Eberflus. He outworked him. Shotty wasn't content with, hey, man, Matt Eberflus is over there messing up on the defensive side. He wasn't taking shots at Matt Eberflus as much in the court of public opinion. He did something even more diabolical and smart. He went in the defensive room and he started trying to make him to do the things that needed to be done. And he showed Jerry Jones that Matt Eberflus wouldn't do the things that needed to be done. And I'm right about Matt Eberflus. Brian is doing it the right way. A person like Troy Aikman, he continues to show he's disgruntled with the Joneses. Why would you want him in the front office? Why? Knowing full well they're not going to turn everything over to him. They're not. So what does Brian do? I'm going to get Jerry to trust me. I'm going to get Jerry to trust me. I'm going to get Jerry to trust me. And when Jerry starts trusting me, we're going to start doing things like a team that is ran right. A la, here is where we are now. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, y'all? The noise about the Cowboys, is it coming from inside the building? Is it coming from inside of the organization? It's all coming from outside of the organization. And as long as it's from outside of the organization, I don't give a doggone. You can talk all the talk you want to. I'm not mad at Jerry Jones for not hiring Troy Aikman. I'm just not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for not doing it. And all Michael Irvin is explaining to us, I understand, ex-teammate, he loves Troy Aikman. I wouldn't expect anything less from Michael Irvin, because that's the kind of person that he is. Michael Irvin loves the Dallas Cowboys. But the only thing he's really explaining to us right now is Troy Aikman's feelings is hurt.
And I'm not just going to keep beating my head against that wall. I'm trying to get it here. You know, I understand it. I wish Jerry would get as much information from it, but it's just not going to happen that way. And I'm happy for Troy. I'm happy for Troy because I know he wants to stay in the football in as many ways as he can.
That's it. Man, let Troy go on about his business, bro. Be happy for Troy. Let him go on about his business. You want to show us that you can do it, but do it in Miami. Do it in Miami. Same way that Tom Brady is doing it with the Las Vegas Raiders. Robert Kraft ain't losing no doggone sleep. He ain't losing no sleep. He got his Super Bowls with Tom Brady as the quarterback. He wasn't worried about him getting Super Bowls with Tom Brady, the general manager or the owner. He wasn't worried about that stuff. And I'm glad we ain't worried about Troy. Ain't nobody in that building worried about Troy Aikman being in any part of the front office. Texas boy B. Mackey said, like G said, y'all don't understand how hard it is to win one Super Bowl, let alone 3. Man, people don't understand what went into it. People don't understand what went into it. And this is one of the reasons why Jerry is so upset with Jimmy to this day. Because Jimmy didn't want to give Jerry credit for being a part of that Herschel Walker trade. Bad said, Let me see here. Hold on. Let me get see. Catherine the Kiss, I'm sure you're saying you're not mad either about Troy Aikman not being in the front office. I'm not. I'm just not. Forever DC, he said, unfortunately, Troy didn't want to start off small and work up, like coming in and working with or even mentoring the quarterbacks. He wants to go straight to the top after years of trash talking this organization. Say it again, Forever DC. Man, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't learn this young. I'm telling young folks, y'all better learn this young. Man, relationships matter. Relationships matter. Shoot, you better be careful using them lips to talk about somebody, because them may be the same lips you're going to need to use to kiss somebody's butt to get to where you want to get. Shoot, you better learn to shut up. Shoot, don't be none of some of these young folks today, and even some of these older folk, always out here, oh, I'm going to tell people how I feel. The Bible says only a fool tells his whole heart. And stop telling everybody how you feel. Shoot, you try, hey, unless you gonna do, unless you just gonna have your own business. When you have your own business, you do whatever you want to do, but you just don't get to do what you want to do with my business. Dominique, I'm sorry to tell you, but he is the organization. See, this is why, Dominique, no offense to you, but you couldn't work for the Dallas Cowboys. You couldn't work for the Dallas Cowboys, and that ain't no disrespect to you, but you couldn't work for the Dallas Cowboys. Because Jerry is the organization. You don't get to tell me if it's my organization. You don't get to tell me that you're trashing me and not the organization. I am the organization because I own it. I own it. It's that, and I'm not talking about you, Dominique, but I'm saying it's that kind of thought process. For somebody to say they're going to trash Jerry and not trash the organization, you are trashing the organization because Jerry is the owner. Bottom line, he is the organization. He's the organization, period. Jerry is the one with the final say-so in the organization, period. And if you don't believe that, then you can't work for the Cowboys. You can't. You can't work for them. That's why I say, man, if you are a person that don't like Jerry Jones, for example, because Troy has almost shown in so many instances that he doesn't really care for Jerry Jones, and then we expect the Cowboys to hire Jerry Jones to hire Troy Aikman? What? Stop it, man. I don't blame Jerry Jones for not hiring Troy Aikman. I don't blame him. You gonna go out there and try to trash me? I've heard people use that kind of language before. Oh, yeah, it's not everybody else. It's not everybody else, it's you. Do you know I'm with everybody else? I'd have a problem with somebody who would even allow. I would have a problem with somebody who would even allow in the organization for a person to disrespect Jerry Jones and come work for the organization saying, well, it's not the organization, it's Jerry Jones. Nah, you can't work here. Yeah, you can't work here. Nah, you can't work here. Folk better learn. Relationships matter. And if you are the type of person that says whatever you want, you better get your own doggone business. And even then in your own business, you're going to still need people. You better be careful how you talk to people. Better be careful how you talk to people and how you talk about people. You better be careful. Unless you're going to be a one-man resource or a one-woman resource, better be careful how you run around moving with people. Because I'm telling you, the very folk who you say you don't need, they'll be the very folk. God will put you in a situation. Those will be the very folk that you need to progress to the next level of what you want to do. So Troy Aikman, I'm not mad about the Cowboys not hiring Troy Aikman. What has he done to prove that he should have ever been in the Cowboys organization? Maybe 5 years from now, maybe we'll be looking back saying, look at what Troy Aikman did in Miami. But I got a feeling we're going to be looking back in about 3 years saying, look at what we've done in Dallas with Brian Schottenheimer. I like the way Brian Schottenheimer is doing it. I think he's doing it the right way. What'd you say, fella Fred? Tried to tell you last year, but Willie D told me Let a HO be a HO. So I couldn't stop you from getting ganked. Now let's play big break. Take little break, man. Shoot. Oh, I'm telling you, man. Shoot, man, I'm going to, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Stop. I'm just telling you, you can do whatever you want to do. All I'm giving you is advice. Man, don't waste your time out here trying to prove to everybody who you don't like. Don't be out here doing that stuff. Then you be running around like Troy Aikman. Be out here crying because you can't work for the Cowboys. And then most of us are clearly seeing why. We know why you not working for the Cowboys, bruh. Do you not see how you moving as it applies to the Cowboys? Can't work for a team you out here trashing the owner of the team? Ain't no way. All right, let's get a couple more quick hits in here before we get out of here for tonight, man. I've enjoyed talking with y'all tonight, man. Best chat on YouTube. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate all the feedback. Appreciate Dominique, everything he's saying, because I can see what he's saying. I'm just on the other side of this part with Troy Aikman because I agree. Man, Jerry should have had somebody, not necessarily like Troy Aikman, but maybe Jerry should have had somebody like a Brian Schottenheimer from the get-go. People got to realize how Brian Schottenheimer worked his way up through this organization. He did not come in here as the offensive coordinator. Brian Schottenheimer came in a very crafty way. I mean, I'm just wondering how he even got this job from this standpoint. I mean, a lot of people are like, how did he get the coaching job? Well, what I'm trying to figure out is, how did he get this job with the Cowboys from this perspective? Let me show you this as we move on to Quentin Williams. But you got to realize, man, how smart this dude is, Brian Schottenheimer. Look at this. I want you to think about how Brian came into this organization. Brian Schottenheimer came into this organization, and I forgot who said it, but I think you made a great point. Brian Schottenheimer didn't come in as the head coach. Somebody said earlier that Troy didn't want to come into the organization and work his way up from the bottom. Was that you forever, DC? Somebody put in the chat who you were that said this. I'm gonna prove your point. I want you to look at how Brian Schottenheimer came up through the organization. Mike McCarthy came in as the head coach. I want you to think about all the coaches. Jason Garrett came in as, now Jason Garrett came in as the what, OC or whatever he was. He worked his way up to the head coach. Bill Parcells came in as a head coach. You think about Mike McCarthy, came in as a head coach. But I want you to look at how Brian Schottenheimer came in. Brian Schottenheimer started at the bottom. He came in as a consultant to provide analysis on opposing teams' offenses. Now, I want you to think about what Brian was probably doing, forever DC, to prove your point. I want you to think about what Brian Schottenheimer and how smart he was, what Brian Schottenheimer was doing. Even in 2023, 2024, this man started at the bottom. He's the offensive coordinator that's not even calling plays. Let that sink in. In 2022, he already started building trust with the Joneses, giving them analysis on opposing teams. You don't think that he was sharing stories about his father? You don't think he's telling them things like, hey, what he would do in this situation, in that situation? You don't think he's telling them these things? Heck, he's the consultant. Yeah, this is what I would do against this team. You don't think they're eventually, because of who his father is, things that he's telling them, the length of time he's been in the league, you don't think that they're starting to ask him other things about the organization? Brian Schottenheimer worked his way up from the bottom. He absolutely did. He's been gaining their trust, not since 2025. He's been gaining their trust since 2022. What? Shotty did it the right way. Shotty worked his way up, and he worked his way to the Cowboys front office, trusting him. And that is why, as we look at this Dallas Cowboys organization, we can say anything we want to say about this organization. But what I will tell you, and I was the first person I heard saying this, I didn't hear anybody else saying it. Anybody who's been here know I was saying this before anybody. The Cowboys are moving different. I said that when they hired Brian Schottenheimer. The Cowboys are moving different because I said they're listening to Brian Schottenheimer. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't seen that since. The way they're listening to Brian Schottenheimer, haven't seen it since, dare I say, Jimmy Johnson? Dare I say Jimmy Johnson? See, people don't understand something about Jimmy Johnson. Why did Jerry let Jimmy come in and do what he did? Because Jimmy and Jerry had a lot of trust. It wasn't just the fact that Jimmy won a national championship. It was the fact that they played with the Arkansas Razorbacks together. Jerry totally respected Jimmy Johnson as a football mind. He respected him. He absolutely did. Jerry and Jimmy had a great relationship. That's how he became the Dallas Cowboys head coach. It's not like Jimmy looked into college and said, who's the best college coach in college football? No, my friend, Jimmy Johnson, who I coached with at Arkansas, my friend, Jimmy Johnson, is successful in college. I got a great relationship with him. I can trust him. I'm bringing in my friend to help me to turn the Dallas Cowboys back to prominence. I'm just telling you, man. Jimmy got in here because of the relationship we had with Jerry. It's exactly what he did. Relationships matter. They matter every single time. If you don't think they do, you're going to have a hard life. Unless you're a person that is so gifted and talented and abundantly blessed with financial situations that you're going to be able to do whatever the heck you want to do. Hail Mary said, agreed. Jerry's listening to Shotty. Hail Mary, it's no doubt. Jerry wouldn't have hired, and I said this too, Hail Mary 75, he wouldn't have hired Christian Parker on his own. He wouldn't have done it. And everybody said, oh, he's listening to the coaches. Yeah, he's listening to the coaches through Brian Schottenheimer. Through Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer's voice within the Dallas Cowboys organization carries a lot of weight. People don't even, I've already made this point and people don't understand it. Brian Schottenheimer did not go get Christian Parker to come in here with a defense of his own. Brian Schottenheimer went and got Christian Parker to run the defense that he was wanting to run with Matt Eberflus all along. That was Shotty with that 5-2. That was Shotty trying to tell him to disguise those looks. That was Shotty trying to tell Matt Eberflus to do more blitzing. That was Shotty. So what did Shotty do? Shotty went and got a coach that would run the type of defense that he wanted Matt Eberflus to run. People ain't giving this man enough credit. All I want Brian Schottenheimer to do next is to evolve his play calling the same way he did in his second season with the Seattle Seahawks. That's all I need him to do now. That's all I need him to do. I'm telling you now, everybody who's making a big deal out of, hey, Jerry ain't gonna never hire a black coach to be the defense coordinator. Guess what he did? He did it. And he did it because of Brian Schottenheimer. It's no doubt in my mind. It's no doubt in my mind. Brian Schottenheimer rolled up in here playing that hard rap music and all that stuff. Man, I'm telling you, Brian did it the right way. And I'm just telling you, I just don't think Troy would have did it like that. Troy would have rolled up in here too with that same ego of, I've won 3 Super Bowls. I know how to build a team. I was with Jimmy. I'm going to be Jimmy 2.0. The thing that I appreciate about Brian Schottenheimer, he's not trying to be Jimmy 2.0. He's trying to be Brian Schottenheimer 1.0. I love it. I love it. He ain't trying to replace Jimmy. Shotty is trying to be Shotty. He's trying to be Brian Schottenheimer. That's all he's trying to do. I love what he is absolutely doing. I just need him to improve that play call. That's all I need him to do. All right, man, let's talk about Quinnen Williams real quick. Cowboys got something else on the horizon here. Cowboys need to avoid this issue. The Cowboys need to extend. They need to extend Quinnen Williams. They really do. I don't want the Cowboys to have nothing coming up with Quinnen Williams. They need to get this Quinnen Williams deal done, and they need to get it done as quickly as possible. Dominique Pittman, I agree with you. I don't want Shotty calling plays, but I think that's a part of the agreement between him and Jerry Jones. Demetrius Noel, I agree with you. Troy would have completely destroyed whatever hope this team had. And I think he would have, because he'd have been sitting up fighting with Jerry Jones the whole time. He'd have been fighting with him the whole time. I want Shotty, man. Shotty, I want him to evolve that offense the same way he did with the Seattle Seahawks. He stepped it up in year 2. He really did. Yeah, Chris Dunaway. Hey, man, good to see you. I like what Shotty's doing. Shotty ain't trying to be Jimmy. Shotty's trying to be Shotty. He's trying to make his own mark. And Shotty, because he comes from that coaching tree of his father, he wants to get it for his father. He wants to do what his father didn't do. And his father was a great coach. He just didn't have the playoff success. 805 bus stop. Shotty's in a prove-it year. Now, I think he's in a prove-it year, but I also think they're going to give Christian Parker some leeway too. Texas B-Boy Mac, he said, I don't think even they even know who Shotty's dad is. The man knows football. Exactly. He does. Comes from, yeah. All right, Marvin Mays, let's talk about Quinnen Williams. Yes, extend him early and save cap space. Yes. Yes. Oh, Rolando Rodriguez. They're moving different. I got a feeling, Rolando, they may actually get this Quinnen Williams thing done, because you don't go out and make the trade they made for Quinnen Williams and you don't extend him. They're not going to make him play on no kind of whatever it is they got going on over here. Let's look at the article over here about Quinnen Williams. This ain't going to happen with Quinnen Williams. All right, let's see what they're talking about with Quinnen. It says, Emmitt Smith recently praised the Cowboys for having a drama-free offseason. I have too, but I'm nobody in the grand scheme of things of the Cowboys media. I'm nobody in the grand scheme of things of the Cowboys media. But it says here that, I don't know why this isn't coming up on the screen. Let me go back. Says here that while Smith and the Cowboys fans got their wish this offseason, it says next year could see the contract's histrionics return. And I'm going to tell y'all something about these doggone beat writers and these people out here who are covering the Cowboys. Y'all might not be hearing this in their voice. Y'all might not be hearing this in their voice and their coverage. Do y'all realize they want the Cowboys to have drama? Has anybody not been noticing this? It's like a lot of people outside of the Cowboys organization, they want drama. They want it. They want the drama. Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh, the Cowboys got their wish this offseason, but next year we could see the contract histrionics. Stop it. Why? Why do you want it? Why do you want it to be so bad? They want this to be drama, because they can't make the money with the Cowboys not having drama. It says while Smith and Cowboys fans got their wish, it says not only is Pickens' future waiting on the other side, but star defensive tackle Quinnen Williams could angle for a new and improved deal as well. I guarantee you the Cowboys already got this in their minds. It says Williams signed a 4-year, $96 million extension with the Jets in 2023. He's set to make $21.75 million this season and has no guaranteed money remaining on his deal beyond 2026. Mark my words. The Cowboys aren't even going to attempt to get this man to play on no guaranteed money. Stop it. Stop it. The Cowboys do need to get this done, and I will not be surprised if the Cowboys get this done. Says the Dallas Cowboys will almost certainly extend Quinnen Williams next offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it this season. It says a case could be made for Jerry Jones to extend Williams this summer. I would not be surprised. Regardless of when it happens, though, this situation isn't going away, as Williams will be entering a contract year in 2027, and the Cowboys surrendered a massive haul to get him from New York, a 2026 second-round pick, the best of Dallas's 2 2027 first-rounders, and Mozzie Smith. I'm telling you now, the Cowboys already know Mozzie ain't playing on no non-guaranteed year. It is not happening. It is not happening, and I guarantee you the Cowboys are going to make this happen. But these guys, they love it. They're hoping. They're hoping this happens. Katharina Kiss, I saw your question earlier. Yes, Myles Garrett has a no-trade clause. Yes. And that's why I was talking about his situation is very special. Bass said if the intent is to establish his own mark on the Cowboys' legacy, then Shotty as the play caller has to see football acumen is critical. You don't let up with what's working until they stop it. We're going to see in year 2, Bass. He was way better in year 2. He was way better in year 2. Chris Donaway said media loves drama. Yes. Hail Mary, Cowboys drama gives them work. It does. Man, let me tell you something. Any of us content creators, I guarantee you they'll all tell you the same thing. I've been saying the quiet part out loud. If you're going to cover the Cowboys right now, you got to put in work, man. Shoot. You got to put in work, man. We used to have stories just last year and every year before. Man, stories just out there everywhere. It was just like a buffet. You could just pick the story that you wanted to cover. You could do 3 and 4 videos a day with all the drama going on around Dallas. Shoot, right now, ask any other content creator if they're not already telling you. Shoot. Boy, you got to put in work now, man. Shoot. Boy, you got to put in work. Bass said, gee, the world thrives upon Dallas Cowboys drama. It does. It pays the bills. It keeps the studio lights on. It keeps Stephen A. Smith paid with his elongated Ninja Turtle forehead having fun. I'm telling you, bro. Shoot, man, you got to put in work, man, to be a content creator for the Cowboys right now. You got to do some, man, you got to put in some work. But again, they're talking about this thing with the Cowboys, and I believe the Cowboys, they have a plan with Quinnen Williams. They're getting this thing signed because he has to be the best defensive tackle, if not the second best. It says, rest assured the four-time Pro Bowler is going anywhere, no doubt. However, he's currently 9th among defensive tackles with a $24 million annual average. The Cowboys, let me tell you something about Jerry. People keep looking at this Michael Parsons issue trying to judge the Cowboys. Let me tell you something about Jerry. When Jerry love you, he gonna pay you. Jerry thinks the world of Quinnen Williams, they're gonna pay him. He says it's less than Alan McNeil. Chris Jones leads the position at $31.75 million. I am not going to be surprised if before the season starts, this dude, Quinnen Williams, gets a $33 million a year contract. I am not going to be surprised. Quinnen Williams right now is rated as the second best defensive tackle, according to Pro Football Focus. He is the second best defensive tackle behind Chris Jones in this league. And I do believe with Christian Parker, he may actually elevate to the best defensive tackle in this league. He gonna get paid. I'm not even worried about this. This is just a bunch of the gargly goop, as I call it. Yeah, this man Quinnen Williams is gonna get paid. We ain't worried about it. I don't even think the Cowboys will even take this drama to next year. They are going to sign this man Quinnen Williams. Yep, they're going to sign Quinnen Williams. What are y'all thoughts on that? I believe they are going to sign Quinnen Williams. They will sign him. All right, let's get to another quick hit over here. This is another thing that I saw people, they've been talking about, the Josh Sweat, and people have been talking about Jordan Brooks. And so I proposed the question today on X. My question is this. Would y'all rather have Jordan Brooks or Josh Sweat? If y'all had the opportunity to get Jordan Brooks or Josh Sweat, which one would you get? Even this, at this point in time, is wishful thinking. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, the Cowboys are not going. I just don't believe the Cowboys, with all these calls, they said people are calling about Josh Sweat. I think some of that may be some hyperbole. I'm just telling y'all right now, y'all might as well get ready. I don't think the Cowboys are going after Josh Sweat. I do not think the Cowboys are going after Josh Sweat. Yeah, I don't think they're going after Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat had 12 sacks last year. Now, if you look at, let me see if I can find his sacks per game. Would Josh Sweat help out the pass rush? I believe he would. I believe Josh Sweat would help out the pass rush. But the issue that I have with Josh Sweat is that I don't think he fits into what the Cowboys are doing from this perspective. The Dallas Cowboys are making it their business. They're going to stop the run. They're making it their business. Yeah, Texas boy, yeah, I think they're going to give him that extension. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this year. Rolando Rodriguez, he said if they pay him $33 million, then they're not signing GP. I think they can do both. I think they can do both. Dominique said he'd rather have Brooks. 805 said Brooks also. Bama Boy said, you talking about how hard it is to win. It's hard as hell. It's hard just winning the NFL, period. Yes, sir. Yeah, Mose Logan, I'm going with Brooks. Yeah, everybody, Texas boy. Queen said Brooks. Demetrius said Brooks. Yeah, I'm going with Brooks. Yeah, I'm going with Brooks every single time. I'm not really hyped up on Josh Sweat. Now, if you could get Josh Sweat for a little bit of nothing, I'm rolling with him on that. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm not about to make a huge effort to get Josh Sweat because I think Jordan Brooks makes your defense overall better. The Cowboys are going to make it their business. They are going to stop the run. Book it. Y'all can book it. They are going to stop the run. So I want you to look at Josh Sweat. And this is where I got an issue with Josh Sweat. You know, sometimes when you start looking at sacks, you got to look at when those sacks occurred. So if you're looking at Josh Sweat, and you know, you just kind of pull up Arizona. This is Josh Sweat's sacks per game. Not only his sacks per game, but I also want you to look at his tackles. So when you look at Josh Sweat, his sacks, so he had in the first 5 games, he had 4. Look at the first half of the season, he had about 7. But my problem is with Josh Sweat is when you start looking at the back half of his season. He had 1 sack against the 49ers, none against the Jags, 2 against the Bucks, none against the Rams, none against the Texans, none against the Falcons, none against the Bengals, and then he gets 1 against the Rams. And, you know, people were calling Rashawn Gary 007. They were basically saying he got 7 sacks in the first maybe 7 games. Michael Parsons got hurt. He didn't get any sacks after that. Something to that effect. Well, let's just kind of look at what Josh Sweat did. I mean, where was Josh Sweat down the stretch? Where was he? I mean, you look at his last 9 games. What is that? Is that what, 4 sacks? 5 sacks, maybe the last 9? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he had 5 sacks the last 9 games. But again, look at the sacks. 1 against Seattle, 1 against the San Francisco 49ers, 1 against the Bucks. But other than that, I mean, he got blanked for about how many games? That's about a 5-game run that he got blanked. I mean, you look at the number of tackles. I mean, kind of look over here. Look at his quarterback hits even. quarterback hits. Kind of what happened there down the stretch. What's really happening? What was going on with Josh Sweat? Decreased snap counts? What's going on with Josh Sweat? I just wonder. I mean, kind of look at his tackles. 4 combos. He only had 30 tackles on the year. 30 combo, 20 solo. I mean, just kind of look at how everything is going. He had 13 tackles for loss. 17 quarterback hits. But if you kind of even look at those, I'd like to kind of know what some of the pressures were against the Dallas Cowboys. He amassed quite a bit against the Dallas Cowboys. He got 5 of them. Had 5 quarterback hits. 2 of his sacks came against us. But you look at a lot of these other teams that kind of handled up on him. But when I look at Josh Sweat, I don't think, and people got to be careful, man. The moment somebody hears sacks, they, oh, crazy, oh, sacks, got 12 sacks. Let's calm down on these things, man. I mean, we're not just looking on this defense right now. I'm just telling y'all if it was me. If I was just looking for somebody to rush the passer, I'm getting Von Miller. If I just wanted a pass rushing specialist, I would go get Von Miller. I absolutely would get Von Miller before I would go and take up Josh Sweat's contract. I don't care what it is. I would go get a player like a Von Miller. Von Miller had 9 sacks last season. 9 sacks. He had 26 quarterback pressures. What? I would go get Von. I would go get Von Miller. If I'm just looking for sacks, because when I start looking at Von Miller versus what Josh Sweat did in the tackle situation, well, I'm looking at Von Miller, and I'm like, man, I would probably rather have Von Miller. I really would. I'd probably rather have Von Miller from just looking for a pass rush specialist. But if I'm going to use the kind of money on Josh Sweat the Cowboys would have to use, nah, bro, you got to do more than rush the passer. I'm going to need you to do a little bit more than rush the passer. And if I'm the Cowboys, who I would be looking at, Jordan Brooks. Yep, and I agree with you, Demetrius Noel. Sacks is a very misleading stat, man, and people immediately run to, because Demetrius Noel, did we not get burned on this in 2025? We went and got Dante Fowler because Dante Fowler had how many sacks in 2024? Didn't Dante Fowler have something like 10? Dante Fowler had something like 10 to 12 sacks. And we were like, why did the Commanders let him go? This dude came over here with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't even think he got 3 sacks. And some of that could have been attributed to one Matt Eberflus. So I'm not going to discount that. But when you think about Dante Fowler in 2024, Dante Fowler in 2024 had 10.5 sacks, 39 total tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 12 quarterback hits, and a partridge in a pear tree. This dude balled out. Came over here with the Cowboys, didn't do anything. And so, again, if I was just looking for a pass rush specialist, for me, it'd be Von Miller. I would just go get Von Miller. I'm not picking up Josh Sweat's contract. I don't want it. Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks makes your entire defense better. And I mean even in the pass rush. I believe Jordan Brooks with D. Winters, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, and Quentin Williams. Jordan Brooks will make your entire defense. I even think in the pass rush situation, Jordan Brooks will make your entire unit better. Jordan Brooks is an absolute dog. He is an absolute dog, all around great player. This dude's stats in 2025 are unworldly. How in the world do you have 183 tackles? How do you have 183 tackles? This dude had 99 combo and 84 solo. How do you do that? 13 tackles for loss. 4 quarterback hits. I mean, this dude is incredible. 3 passes deflected. I mean, Jordan Brooks is your man. He solidifies your entire defense. He absolutely does. He solidifies your entire defense if you go get Jordan Brooks. If I'm the Cowboys, I go get Jordan Brooks. If I'm going to go out there and start calling and getting on the phone about somebody, it is going to be Jordan Brooks. Absolutely every single time. Every single time. And I'm still praying that the Cowboys are going to circle the block on Jordan Brooks. I am. I'm hoping they circle the block so bad I don't know what to do. All right, let's get a couple of more of these quick hits, and then we're going to get out of here, Cowboys Nation. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I found this little quick article over here. Post June 1st. There are some players that they're saying that the Cowboys should be looking at post June 1st cuts. I'm sure this list will get bigger as we get closer to June 1st. But right now, y'all tell me what y'all think about these players. They got Michael Carter II. They're saying that the Cowboys he may be out there. The Cowboys should be looking at him. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Another player they're saying the Cowboys should be looking at is Malik Harrison. Linebacker, y'all tell me what y'all think. Says Cowboys traded for D. Winters, who's expected to start opposite of DeMario and Overshown at inside linebacker. That's a solid duo, but Overshown has struggled to stay healthy. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm not saying that he's not going to be healthy, but if I'm the Cowboys, I want to be prepared in case Overshown's not healthy. It says that's why I recently wrote about team insiders believing the Cowboys will add another linebacker before the season begins. Of course, they do have Barrow, but it says Harrod isn't an elite player, but he has 215 tackles in 87 career games. Yeah, I don't know about that. Y'all tell me what y'all think on him. Now, Dorrance Armstrong is an ex-Cowboy, if I'm not mistaken. He's an ex-Cowboy. So he went to the Washington Commanders, 3-year deal with Dan Quinn. In 2 years, he has 10.5 sacks. Has been a solid run defender. That said, he's coming off a knee injury. I'm not. What do y'all think? Now, one name that I do think that is intriguing is James Conner. I do think James Conner is intriguing. And maybe the Cowboys should think about bringing him into camp. What do y'all think? I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys brought in Conner. It says the Cowboys can use an upgraded RB2. Conner has experience working with Clayton Adams, who was an offensive line coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Conner recorded more than 1,000 yards in each season. He was running behind the Adams line, but a foot injury limited him into 3 games in 2025. He's likely on the chopping block with the addition of Tyler Algier in free agency and Jeremiah Love in the NFL draft. That would open the door for the Cowboys to add another powerful back to their stable. I would not be mad at the Cowboys bringing him in. I wouldn't. I absolutely. Dominique, what you think? Dominique said he wouldn't be mad either bringing in James Conner. Yeah, I would not be mad if they brought this dude in. I would not. I think he could be a good addition in camp and let him work his way up. Let him put pressure on. Let him put pressure on Malik Davis. Let him put some pressure on Maffa. Let him put some pressure on Jaden Blue. Let him put some pressure on, what is his name, Dominique. Let him put some pressure. Let him put some pressure. I'd like to see, amen, make that running back room more competitive. And I think he's also a change of a pace type of running back than Javonte. I think he would be better in the screen game. I do think he'd be better in the screen game. I think he'd be a lot more versatile than one Javonte. But I'm not mad at what Javonte does. Just let him keep doing what he's doing. Dudley said no reunions. Okay. Dunaway said he wouldn't mind. Noel said leave Connor where he is, not another injured player. I feel you. Okay, Forever DC said take Schoolmaker and trade him to the Steelers for her big. Okay, gotcha. Texas boy B. Mac, he said, G, do you think James Houston can make that step? Man, let me tell you something. This dude is underrated. Nah, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what people talking about with James Houston. I think James Houston is a baller, Texas boy. I think he's going to be a baller in this defense. I think he's going to be a baller. What's going on, Newhouse? Bass said it's not no to Clowney altogether. It's just not right now. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Clowney came back. I think the Cowboys want to see what that market is for him. I think they want to see what that market is for him. Yeah, Dudley said James Conner was put some wood to us a couple of years ago. I wouldn't mind seeing him. Yeah, Forever DC said lots of injuries. Again, what was the guy we brought in last year? Miles Sanders? I say, if anything, bring him into camp. You got 3 roster spots, bring him into camp. Let him play himself out of camp. If I were the Cowboys, that's what I would do. Let him play his way out of camp. All right, let's get another quick hit in here real quick. Now, some of y'all might be wondering why I brought Micah Parsons in at the end. What is this story I have about Micah Parsons, ex-Cowboy? Let me tell you something about Micah Parsons. The Dallas Cowboys, you remember when I told y'all you need to have a good team, you need to have health, of course you need to have good coaching, and sometimes you need a little luck. Well, the Cowboys, if you kind of look at the first 6 games of the schedule, and I'm telling y'all right now, boy, this doggone New York Giants. The New York Giants right now are in disarray over some nonsense. But I don't think them with the nonsense they have going on is what's going to hurt the New York Football Giants. I think there is a very good possibility that when the Dallas Cowboys see the New York Giants on the first game of the season, I got a strange feeling that the New York Giants could possibly be without, they've already had one guy with the Achilles, I forget his name. Thibodeau will probably be traded by then. Also, Scatty Boo, I don't think that ankle is going to be right. And Malik Neighbors probably won't be playing in the first game against the Cowboys. And if he is, I don't know how good he's going to be. But the reason why I brought up Micah Parsons is that the Cowboys play the Green Bay Packers game 6. That's game 6. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but Micah Parsons, the question becomes, will Micah Parsons actually be healthy by the time the Cowboys play the Green Bay Packers? Micah Parsons. We might not see Micah Parsons until the playoffs. We might not see Micah Parsons until the playoffs. Check this out.
Player who's not expected back for the start of the season. The Packers stand out.
1-2, absolute shite. All right, boys, we appreciate the hell out of you. We have a chance to speak to the MVP, so we're going to do that.
Player who's not expected back.
Yeah. Man, hey, I'm not saying we don't want him playing, but I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Championship seasons. I'm just telling you, man, championship seasons consist of a lot of things. It's a battle of attrition. You want to have good coaching. You want to have a good team. You want to you want to have a good team. You want to be healthy. But I'm going to tell you something. Man, you need some luck too. You need some luck. Sometimes you might play a team, and as much as you want to play a team at their best, maybe they're not at their best. That's not your problem. You play who's in front of you. You beat the brakes off of them. I don't care if they're missing everybody on the team. You beat the brakes off of them. You play who's in front of you. Sometimes you're gonna get a team, they're gonna be missing that player. Maybe the referees are gonna make some calls. We've had them go against us. Sometimes you're gonna get some calls that go for you. Oh man, and then when you think about that whole thing with Josh Jacobs, I didn't even think about that, NJ Fins. That whole story is crazy. Let me tell y'all something, man. It is amazing to me. And this is what has really got me so excited about the Dallas Cowboys. There are teams out there. You think about the NFC East. The NFC East, they got the Jackson Dart stuff. They got the Abdul Carter stuff. And it's for much stuff as Abdul Carter is talking. Let me tell you something. He better go out there and ball out this year, because if he don't, they're going to let him have it. Jackson Dart better ball out. If he don't, they're going to let him have it. But when you think about what's going on with the Giants, with that situation, brand new coach, Scotty Boo and Malik Neighbors and Thibodeau, and they've had 3 Achilles tears and all of the things that are going on with them, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and that whole monstrosity going on. You think about the Washington Commanders, and while they don't have a lot of drama going on, but the fact, you got Jaden Daniels coming back, and I think this is a make or break year for one Dan Quinn. When you think about all of the things that are going on, the Dallas Cowboys are drama-free. Boy, I love it. I love it. The Dallas Cowboys, for the most part, are drama-free. All the drama is coming from outside of the organization, not inside. I love it. I love it, Cowboys fans. I want it to continue to be boring and be all about football. Let all the noise go on outside of us, and let us be a team that finally gets to have an offseason where we are totally focused on football. You can't ask for anything more. Focused on football, health, everything. Yeah, Demetrius Noel said, gee, the number 1 seed does feel bad for playing the 101 seed. If we win games, we're supposed to rest. The rest will take care of itself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm glad everything is outside of us, man. We just got to do what we're supposed to do. Yeah, Ron Hanna said Packers won't factor this year, too much drama and injuries. They're dealing with our problem. Not our problem, family. Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. And we don't even know what Neighbors or Micah Parsons are going to look like when they come back, man. It takes a year sometimes to get that come back from that stuff. Betts, he said it doesn't matter if Michael healthy or not. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta play what we gotta play. Gotta win. Tired of talking about how difficult the schedule is, or if this person healthy, that person is. Win, bro. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something though, Jeremy Betts. Don't ever discount. Don't discount that stuff. You think about how many teams have benefited from us being not being healthy. How many teams benefited from Dak Prescott not being healthy in some years? It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. So again, we just got to focus on what we focus on. Keep all the noise outside of us. Man, I think the Cowboys are on to something. Let's just keep praying for health, progression of our coaches, no drama, and let's just get it done. I'm still thinking the Cowboys going to make a big move post June 1st. Don't know when it'll be, but I think they're going to make a big move. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank God it's Friday. Y'all go out there and enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. Hey, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.